Okie dokie, gentlemen, are we all here ready to fucking go? I asked y'all a question! As I reveal my giant monkey! That's not as funny as you thought it was, boy!
God, I thought he meant penis!
I swear, the only thing I hate more than weaklings... Hey! I'm speaking, soldier! Don't fucking speak unless you're smart as fucking dirt! What we're gonna do is we're gonna fly over the
The talk show at the end of the week.
Space is big.
Star Citizen Base.
It's really big.
Round Table.
Minutes before the stream starts, and you're the damn producer.
3 minutes? No.
Well, okay, it was actually
here all the
5
time.
minutes today. And then you couldn't get your video working and blah, blah, blah. You're like, oh, nope, that's the wrong button. Wait, that's the wrong button. Oh, look, it's Wee Hamster. But he's Norwegian. It's weird. That's how much show prep goes into this shit. And I'm sitting in this fucking video call by myself for an hour waiting for everybody to start showing up so we could start talking about shit.
You're not fucking waiting for
Why an hour?
To
You're
fucking
not there now.
feed the conversation. 90% of the conversation that we have stems off of the conversation that we had prior to the show starting. So, hence why I'm laying down in my chair like I don't give a fuck.
a lot of conversations, so.
If you didn't have your mic off, I think our conversation would have started off really well.
It probably would have started a little earlier, right? Yeah.
Hello, everyone.
Yeah.
Oh, we gotta deal with this
We
one.
are live. Yep.
All 17 of them. Half of them are us.
Put your mic closer,
don't
Mike.
watch that
Just like
shit.
that.
Who, me?
Yeah,
I don't
there
watch
we
that
go.
shit.
That's what it's for, right?
Let's see. Can you hear me better now, fucker?
That's nice.
Yes.
So,
good.
nothing really happens. CitizenCon's over. The Expo's over.
How much money did they get? That's the only question that
A
matters.
fucking lot.
Still quite a lot.
More than usual?
I think so.
I wouldn't say that. I don't know.
I
Let's
think
take a
so. If Wee Hamster was here, he would know comparatively
Hamster.
what it was last year.
We have
But-
slacking. What's up
Well,
with
he's
that?
sleeping, I'm sure.
Why?
Because he's in Ireland and there's nothing else to do there.
So let's see. For the
Bam.
week. Holy shit.
They just re-uploaded the second
For
part
last
of the demo.
week, 7,926,000.
Yeah, but the real deal is that it was 240 plus. It was like right in between 240 and 241 million dollars at the start of CitizenCon. And now I just looked and
Yeah.
I think it's 254.
Yep. 254 million.
So
13
that's somewhere
million.
between 13 and 14 million, give or take. Some
Yep.
hundreds of thousands, but who's fucking counting, hundreds
Yeah.
of thousands,
So
whatever.
last week they made over 7,900,000, and the week before it was at 6,400,000. And the week before that, actually numbers were dropping at that point, and it was at 4,000,008.
So,
And then they spiked.
and there are still people discussing the IAE. Paul just uploaded the captain's table onto YouTube a little bit earlier today, which I was watching, and they were going over the good, bad, and ugly of the IAE with some relatively good suggestions about how to not make that event suck in game.
So it sucked in game?
It wasn't glamorous. It didn't have the pizzazz or draw that last year's did. There was
but-
actually less content this year than there was last year.
Yeah, but last year, right, we had new ships that they put out there that, well, first of all, I think last year was the first year we actually got to visit it.
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mhm.
Before
Yep.
that, it was just videos, right?
Yep.
So you're not
And
gonna
sales.
be able to really be going to it, right? They had new ships. They had some of the ships that we've heard about but hadn't been able to see until then, right? The address, so they had all the ships that they could possibly have was at the show last year.
But why
And
would they have the Idris last year and not this year?
I think there was probably, this
Was
is
it
my
really
personal
intended
opinion.
back
I
then?
think,
Was it really intended back then? I thought someone snooped it out of the game code.
no, it was there.
No, you
was
could go
there?
walk around it and shit.
Oh
Yep.
yeah, you can walk around. You couldn't go in it.
I don't even
And
remember.
I think the thing was, because it was tied to the whole free fly and everything.
Only
think
the
there
shit
might have
that was
been
flyable
only the
was available.
ships that were flyables were placed there because I think there was too much confusion as to why can't I fly this ship if it's already in here.
The whole goddamn community's confused on a daily fucking basis.
They get
Yeah.
confused anyway, right?
But I
Right.
think that
If you
I think
choose,
that's
if you
why they
choose
did it.
10 random people off the street or 100, 98 of them is going to be confused permanently, regardless of what. That doesn't really matter. How much you inform them, they're still going to be confused. But the reason, I think they explained the reason for why certain things are not in the game, and it's because people is becoming so adequate at extracting game assets that they don't want it in the game at all.
Have you seen
In
the
any
ship talk
state,
panel?
because it's
Yes.
And the way they opened at the beginning was like, and was at the beginning it had something to do with the mole being revealed and the fact that they really went out of the way to try and find out how the community managed to find out about the ships, and they managed to do it because nobody really knew
It was
about
the
it
best kept secret
until
for CIG so far to date.
Yep, they've been figuring it out, and now they've been putting in stuff to prevent that kind of stuff. So if there's either someone found a new creative way of finding something in the data, or they deliberately leave it in there so someone can find it.
I go with option 2, kind of like
For the Pisces, yeah.
well, kind of like when the accidental Jared leak occurred with all of the Squadron 42 alien ships and shit that were leaked 2-3 years ago, whatever the fuck that was. That wasn't an accident.
I think that was an honest
Bullshit.
mistake. Yeah, I think that was an honest mistake. I don't think they wanted people getting their hands on those assets.
That was like the best thing that happened for them that year.
Yeah, it was a good thing for them, but it was also a bad thing.
how?
Because it showed a lot of stuff that they didn't want shown,
their
that
reins
they've
are
been
loose.
trying to hide.
It didn't show us anything at all, almost.
Fucking ship models. What it did show us was that, yes, they're working on it.
True.
And it had to shut a lot of people the fuck up, which was really important at that stage where the whole game was, the community was, the internet was regarding Star Citizen. It was really important, and it worked out extremely well for them. So, and I agree, Toro, that I they could have made it better. I mean, they didn't, whatever. The past is the past, whatever. You're not going to change shit. But, here's the question. Is it worth the time? Because obviously time is crucial for this project. Is it worth the time to pull 4 or 5 people off, or even 2 people? I don't know how many people it would take to do a project like this, but to actually invest in the in-game event.
I don't see why not. I don't think it's a bad thing. And the time invested for that particular thing isn't really a lot because they already have all the assets built. It's a matter of just placement, right? And all they did was move a few things around and they moved it from Hurston, right? They're just files. They put them on in UpCorp. So I don't think it was a lot of resources used to do that because a lot of the assets were already made. And it's a good way to get the community involved. So I don't have a problem with it.
Paul had a really good idea. The Astropub. I was watching, like I said, the captain's table. Really good idea. Instead of making only the show floor available for the day of the ship sale, why wouldn't they just make it appear to be like a fucking 9 or 10 story conference center where you can access all the floors all the time, but on the day of the specific manufacturer, they had something special that surrounded that specific manufacturer. Don't sell all the ships, just sell the ships for that manufacturer and then progress, but leave the access to all of those. Or is that too much? Maybe it's too much for the engine right now.
Well, that's a good point. It could be, with all the stuff there, the frame rate would just tank. So that's one possibility. The other possibility is that it's easy to have all the assets there and just hidden, right? So they can have code and that just makes that all invisible until it hits a certain time, and then it makes it visible and sets the elevator to open that floor or whatever. So that reduces the resources on the people's clients, so the frame rate isn't hit. But I would think even if they were to leave everything there, the part about being able to rent it, I don't know if they could do that programmatically with a time, or if it has to be on. So if they had all of the ships ready
everything
all the
can
time,
be done.
That's true.
I
always say that too.
They have different reasons.
It would be like, can they rent the ships, any ship at any time, or do they want to keep it where you can only rent the ship during that ship's day? I think it builds a little bit of anticipation, right? It keeps the event going all week, right? Because if you have it all at once, everybody's going to go there one day and they're going to blow their load and then be done. And then all the... That's it. Nobody's going to go again.
It's a marketing
right?
decision.
So if you do it day by day, and it builds up that anticipation, that hype to get to that ship that you want wherever it is in the week.
Here's an interesting point about what We Hamsters posting in chat. The total for 2019 so far was 40. We'll call it 41. We'll round up. The total for 2018 was 38. We'll round up. Okay, because a couple 100,000 between fucking friends in a multi-million-dollar company is nothing. Did you see the post about CIG and Turbulent investing in each other as stock swaps or shares or what have you?
I saw people linking it and stuff. I didn't read it.
Yeah, so CIG up their financial investment and commitment via stock shares in Turbulent. Now they own 21% or something of Turbulent in stock. And then vice versa, Turbulent invested money into Star Citizen. Now they own 6, I think. I don't know if that's completely accurate. Somewhere in that ballpark anyway. Now, the reason I bring this up is, remember when they posted the financials for 2018 and fucking people who don't have any understanding of how to run a multi-million-dollar corporation lost their shit when CIG showed a loss. Now, the question is, why do they show a loss? Oh, that's right, to avoid taxes. That's why you show a loss. Every fucking functional company shows a loss. You spend all your fucking money before the end of the fiscal year. Every successful company does this. So my thought process is they have an extra $3 to $5 million this year. How are you going to show a loss? Do they need to buy capital assets now? Do you think they need to upgrade these PCs and monitors and blah, 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 and more office space? They got fucking God knows how many square feet or square meters of office space now.
Or you could just invest it in a different company that's working with you.
Invest it in a different company. That's my theory anyway. I don't have any inside information.
It's also a form of payment to invest in that company. They invest in you. You know what I mean? And then you differ out. I get X amount of shares from you for this. The differentials between those investments is the payment for you. You know, my company is worth way more per stock than you, and you get this much. We get this much from you, and the difference is the payment. You know what I mean?
I think so.
Well, they're also really way in deep together in the whole
Turbulent needs to
development.
expand. Is what needs to happen. They need to get bigger in order to support this fucking project.
Because they're doing a lot of stuff for Star Citizen. I mean, they're in deep. So there's 76 positions available at CIG. 42 of them are for Winslow.
Though
Jeez.
there will probably always be 42 positions available at Winslow.
That's funny. Do they actually have 42 positions? Or is that just a joke? I didn't catch.
What did your wife call it? That's stupid.
It is fucking stupid.
When she learned about 42.
No, it's 42.
Oh yeah, no, this is a whole lot of positions
It's a
they're
hamster.
looking for.
Hi, Wee.
Hello. Sorry, a bit late.
It's okay. We know you were like
Sleeping.
or
but-
eating the alfalfa or whatever
No, I have
hamsters
a
do.
bit of a headache, so I usually sleep it off to get rid of it.
Well, this ain't gonna
You
help.
need-
That's
you,
for damn sure.
you need to
Yeah,
stop.
this show's not gonna
Once
do.
one you want to go off the wheel, you don't really just stop and let you spin around like this. Gonna hurt your brain. You need to jump off at speed. Remember?
What brain? I lost my brain years ago.
Let me guess. When you joined the radio, right? Space radio.
When he started back in Star Citizen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Back that video up. Back that video up. There
Oh,
is right there is a face. Keep going.
Yeah, we
Keep
haven't
going.
seen him in
Keep
fucking.
Haven't seen him in
forever.
ages. Yeah. I was supposed to say that,
Nathan
yeah.
Dearsley.
Yep.
I
I
am
was wondering
very,
if he's still around.
very glad to see that Nathan is still with
I
the
am.
company
I am.
Yep.
Same here. Yeah.
Art director on Squadron 42.
for Squadron
Yeah.
42.
That's why
That's
we
why I
haven't
don't
seen
have-
him. He's still
yeah.
fucking heads down with it.
You talk about headaches. He's probably got a perpetual migraine.
Oh
Though
yeah.
Though he's put a bit of weight on, I can see.
They all have.
Well, no, Eric is actually starting to lose weight again. I noticed.
Well,
Well,
his
do you-
doctor probably told him, dude, you're dying.
He
Okay, stop
probably
right there.
did.
Go back.
I have images of this.
Go back. There we go. That one. So this one I find very interesting.
It's America.
But, well, no, it's because you got a jump point on a fucking planet.
Well, actually, you
But they're
don't
probably
have a
building
jump
it.
point. You're building a Stargate.
Yeah, the gate. That's funny.
Or they're just showing it for scale.
Oh,
Concept
maybe.
art, yeah.
I know it's concept art. I saw that. I
Or
was
there's a
like, holy shit,
wormhole at the
fucking
surface
cool.
of the planet. You never know.
I think that's somewhere in Scotland, actually.
Now,
Anything could be in
It
Scotland.
leads to the land of the dinosaurs.
yeah. So this gate brings up a lot of interesting points. I think Junta, you posted something about it, right? So initially, when they talked about these jump points, they didn't have any gates for
Right.
direction or anything like
They
that.
didn't?
And they had said, nope, they did not.
No,
And
yeah.
then
No.
they said they didn't want to go that route, actually. And then the idea was that when you go through it, right, you will come out it at a somewhat random location to help avoid camping.
Gate camping.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
So
Ganking.
now they're going 180 on that. Put
Maybe.
in the gates.
I think that's it's a
I think it's a crutch for people that can't figure it out.
Not really.
didn't
I
say
think what they said was that this helps to stabilize your journey. I think you can still jump without the gate, but this makes your journey much smoother. Apparently.
Well, I think the explanation
noobs.
that they gave was that jump gates are established on stable jump points that have heavier traffic loads, right? But they will be patrolled. Because if it's a jump point that strategic cargo needs to get through from point A to point B, then you would think that it's going to have some sort of military or police presence of some kind. So if they do that, right, and the jump gates are secure, the ones that actually have structures, then that's fine. You're not going to prevent people from ganking people there, but you'll deter people from ganking people there.
Well, look at the other end of Pyro, though. It's not being
right. But then that's
monitored.
that's the explanation that they gave, because when you came out on the other side, it was kind of a little bit more dilapidated because the traffic that goes through there is kind of dwindled down because there's no purpose to traverse that.
Mhm.
So we'll see where they go with it. The explanation was okay. It was okay. But I still have the concern that it's going to turn into fucking Eve.
No, I don't think so. Again, don't forget, we're only 90% of or only 10% of the population, so I don't think we will have control over it.
Hey,
But what
you
if-
only need one guild with about 20 people hanging around at a gate or less to freaking gank you when you come through.
Is it funny?
Whether
You
it's-
see
Whether
this.
there's
And-
NPCs or
and-
not,
and see-
set to one.
And CIG just quantum to allow a ton of pirates to jump them? No. CIG won't allow it. I know that.
You see this. It's funny. You see this jump point thing, and then afterwards you see this guy with the same colored hair.
As the jump point?
It's a jump point, kind of. It's like from jump point.
Oh, yeah, I remember. Yeah.
So we're going to get our hair changed? Well, I don't have any to change.
Do you know what I thought was interesting in that video was they showed you a tunnel that kind of splintered off, and he said it's possible, and they're looking into it, that might actually bring you to a different destination.
Yeah, I think
Or a
remember.
different point at the same destination.
Maybe. They didn't specify it, but
That
He
would
did
be a
say-
good plan for them to do, is kind of have them splinter off and put you into different parts of the same system that you're trying to traverse to alleviate some of the conflict that can happen at the exit of a jump.
Okay, so here's an interesting question. So you're going through it, and they said this during the event. You screw up, you end up going out of the wormhole. You missed a
Yep.
turn.
Yep.
Right? Your ship can take damage. You can still survive. Now you're in the middle between two systems in the black.
Are you though?
Wherever it is you're at, right? How do you get back in? If
Yeah.
you don't die and your ship is outside of the wormhole, how do you get back in? Or are you fucked? You're dead.
which means, sorry, if you hit the edge or something?
Yeah.
If
they
you
said
get
hit the- if you
ejected
hit
from the jump.
yeah. If you hit the edge, you could get out of the jump, and then you're basically
Yeah.
between the two systems.
No,
do you-
no. Apparently, they said that you'll end up on the far side just heavily damaged.
That's not what I heard, but okay.
That's what I thought it was. Unless they changed it, of course. That was a long time ago. They said that.
No,
I'm
just
certain-
in this
But I'm
recent
certain. Go
discussion,
on.
they had different information that said something about that. If you don't navigate it properly, you can be ejected from the jump. If you don't die, you will likely sustain heavy damage and shit. And I would think that regardless of your location, because there is no nowhere, right? You're not nowhere that doesn't exist. You will be somewhere.
Well, they could
Technically,
put
you're
you
in-
some.
will take forever.
That's what I'm saying. Like
Well-
they could. I mean, it's always possible to make them put you somewhere between the systems. But what is the point of that? I mean, if it's all empty
Well, it's not-
space, there's not much gameplay direction you can go
It's not
from
really.
there.
It
But how do
doesn't
you
work like
rescue
that.
It's not what you want, really. So
But it doesn't
yeah,
work
right.
like
So
that.
how do you progress
How
from
do you
that?
get
It's,
back?
it's kind of dumb.
Well, the
It's-
question's going to be then, there has to be a hard wall, right?
Yeah.
At
That's
the
what it
edge of a
is.
system, so if you theoretically had enough fuel to reach the edge of the hard wall, which they're probably gonna figure out some fucking game mechanic to keep you from doing that, what would happen when you hit the wall? What if I just pointed my Carrack in one direction and walked away from my computer for 2 or 3 days?
I'm
No,
hoping.
I thought they said they weren't going to do that.
Yeah, exactly. I'm hoping that eventually. I mean, eventually you'll just run out of fuel and you'll be in the middle of nowhere because you're dumb enough to try that. But you'll still not even be near
Anything.
anything, right? You won't even have made any sort of distance towards the next system because that sort of distance is so vast. Quantum travel cannot really impact that at all. So
Yeah,
you'll
but
be
that is-
far
Dead.
outside of this. You'll be far. You'll maybe be far outside of the system. So you're fucked because you let it run out of fuel. So someone will have to go pick you up maybe with a fueling ship.
Didn't that happen? Did not recently happen in Elite Dangerous? There was somebody who went so far beyond where most players go that he ran out of fuel, and then he called out for help, and then people actually got together in an exhibition to actually get to him, and then bring fuel to get him back, and it did. I thought that
Sure,
was kind of cool.
because that's fucking the emergent gameplay that needs to happen.
Mm.
It needs to happen in Star Citizen too.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I mean,
No, I thought you meant that.
I still loved those missions from Tessa that took you. I mean, at the pre 3.0 patches of the PU, it was relatively small, but the places that she took you to were actually
Weren't on a map
relatively. Yeah, they weren't on a map. They were actually relatively far outside of on the edges of the playable area, what you would call it, outside of the Crusader vicinity. So the planet would be quite small on your view if you were there. So I mean, I'm hoping some of the rescue missions or other sort of missions like that will occur on any sort of plane inside of the vicinity of the system, but may actually be quite few distances away from the outer orbits. Who knows?
Maybe we can use the Mantis to be a rescue ship where it creates a hole in the wall and allows you to get back into a jump point. Or
That's an
another
idea
ship.
too, yeah.
That's what we need. Another ship that can actually generate
No.
a mini wormhole to get you into a wormhole.
The idea of a wormhole is it's a hole in 4-dimensional space. So
That's what the jump points are technically.
yeah, so there's no real hole, there's no wall per se, should we say. I think you just simply will be destroyed if you actually go through the wall.
And that's a 100% death of a spaceman.
Theoretically, but yeah, I don't know.
Well, is that
Yeah.
think about that? Is that literally part of that gameplay? Would that be a part of that gameplay loop, right? Use my example of just traveling in one direction for an undetermined amount of time. You don't need any fuel because you just get at the max speed. You shut all your shit down.
Mm.
You go Newtonian and you just float forever in any given direction. Servers are contained. The playable area, like Relum said, has to be contained. No game has an unlimited playable area. So it'll be a box. They already said that. It's like fucking, I don't know, millions of square kilometers by a few 100,000 square kilometers high or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So is there a
here's-
possibility of transitioning from one server to another server if you travel far enough without the use of a jump point?
You'll probably
So-
have your own server.
Yeah,
Just
you
for
would
you.
have your own little server.
You get really good frame rates there.
Yeah. So here's an interesting little tidbit. I took a ship. I forget which ship it was. I think it was the Herald. And I went and I plotted a course for Hurston before we can actually get there. But I could target it.
Mm-hmm.
And I took the ship. I put it at full speed. I decoupled. And I calculated it would have taken the ship about 1 full year to get there if there were no crashes.
Our time.
Our time.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's not outside the
that time-
possibility.
Survival mechanics would kick in and you would starve to death.
I'd been dead. Yeah.
Yeah.
But the ship would have gotten there. Someone would have found it with a empty husk of a body.
George said that he plans on breaking through the wall jump points just to see what happens, and I don't think that you're alone.
No, I guarantee you.
Yeah.
We're all going to test that and see what happens. And Evo's going to test that before we get that shit, so they'll be
I
leads.
think they've also set you up for possibilities in the future. Like they've mentioned generation ships that launched from Earth and then went out into space pre
Yes.
jump point days. And so you could possibly go far enough away from Earth that you might actually find them. You know, that kind of thing. So
And don't
expect
forget,
that kind of gameplay.
we have to map brand new jump holes or jump points, right?
Mm.
So you have to actually fly through one that has not been mapped. And so if you're not good at it, the first time you find it, good luck.
The thing I loved about Interstellar was you could see the other side of the hole from your side of jump
Well,
point.
remember there was actually a comparison that was done between this picture and the one that was recently taken
The original Cardiff
of
picture.
a real. No, I mean this picture from this movie and the picture that was
The
recently
actual
taken by the Space Hubble, wherever it was, the Space Telescope, of a real black hole.
Mm-hmm.
And the theory behind how it would look like was actually quite correct. So they used that theory in this movie, and this is kind of what it looked like in the picture as well. Although not that detailed.
Scientists actually loved what they did here. They were actually praising them how accurately they got it.
Yeah, but I think at the same rate, it consulted a lot of astrophysicists and theoretical physicists to make the movie as close
they
to
could have
reality.
cheated and made it more fancier looking, but they didn't. So
I don't know. That looks pretty goddamn scary to me.
Well, the only thing is, it would be a lot brighter than that. So that's the only thing that's probably not realistic. It would be a hell of a lot brighter than that.
What? A black hole? It's usually black.
No, the disc around it.
The light that's being sucked into it.
But we do actually have a black hole. There's a black hole in the game. There's one system that has it.
Well, there has to be a center to the galaxy. And the theory, the common theory right now is all galaxies circle supermassive black holes.
Yeah, but there's a lot of smaller ones dotted about as well. Of all shapes and sizes.
Sure.
And there's some theory that there's even micro ones, really, 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 really small.
Yeah,
for now.
Butthole.
Very good.
Okay. That was pretty scientific, guys. What do you think?
Brown hole, yeah.
Jesus.
So, in the Inside Star Citizen Live, they had some pretty good stuff. The one that really stood out to me was that the mole is going to have size 2 drills versus size 1.
Mm-hmm.
I found that to be very interesting.
Well, because it's a media miner, so that makes sense.
Yeah,
and it puts the argument to rest about, if I had 4 prospectors, am I going to do just as good as it with a mole?
Oh yeah.
It's like, nope.
That's because people make comments about shit they know nothing about before gathering any information whatsoever.
No, they don't. Don't lie like that.
Oh, well,
That's
I'll
fake
just
news.
get 10 prospectors.
Fake news.
It's all fucking fake news.
Yeah.
All fake news.
I know. People do it all the bloody time.
Yep. Let's see. What else? What else did they say? So the Endeavor, they haven't worked on.
It's not going to be worked on anytime soon.
Not going to be worked on anytime soon. And
the basic takeaway for me,
change.
Yes, it's going to change because everything changes. The biggest takeaway for me was the physics refactor is being done by Chris.
Oh, he's been doing that for a long time.
And John said he's almost done.
Yeah, that's cool. And that the whole C is that much closer now. They have some of the tech problems kind of figured out. So now they need to start putting it into effect, or trying to work it out, program it and stuff. And it's actually going to be in Squadron 42.
Yes.
The whole C is going to be in Squadron 42, but it's not necessarily going to be, functioning per se, right? You'll see it as a ship flying by, or you'll be escorting or whatever, right? So it'll either be fully expanded with cargo on it, or it'll be encapsulated as it's flying by or whatever. So,
well, there was another really big takeaway for people who don't understand. John laid that seed in there for people that don't understand that Squadron 42 and the Persistent Universe both have roadmaps, and both have roadmaps with similar items in there, but they're at different progression levels because they need different shit.
Yep. And the whole sea is a perfect example of that.
You know, you saw that shit all over the place for a little while. Why is this showing that it's polishing for Squadron 42, but it has 400 tasks or whatever? I'm just pulling numbers for the persistent universe. Duh.
Yep. Because it has to function differently in the PU. You can take shortcuts in a single player campaign.
You know, this game accentuates and highlights the real reasons why I fucking hate people.
I'm with you.
But
I'm with you.
I think it's a modern phenomena. Really only start creeping in big time when you pass decade or so.
Only reason why it's creeped in the past decade or so is because the internet. It makes it more obvious.
Well, because everybody has a fucking opinion about something, and now everybody has access to information about just about anything, and they can comment about everything that they have zero knowledge on.
Mm-hmm.
And then they stand their ground like they're right. That makes me nuts.
Yep.
Yeah, because they can hide behind the screen, you know.
It
Your
just makes
identity
me nuts.
is...
There's tons of shit I don't know anything about, and there's tons of shit that I know very little about.
I know everything because I'm a
I don't know everything about anything.
You have any idea how often I find people adding informations to whatever information resource we have without actually confirming anything?
No,
would
because
they?
everybody's still got to be
ridiculous how-
first.
Everybody
It's
knows
even,
everything.
It even happens with stuff like OpenStreetMaps, and people make edits to the map, and they're like, "Yeah, I suppose it's like this," and they don't even confirm it. They don't even go there to check it out, survey or whatever. No, they just do it.
They want to be first, and they already know everything, so they don't have to check their work.
No, because everybody wants to be special.
No, everybody is special.
Oh, we're not.
Yeah.
None of us are.
We're all
Special
winners.
and
We're all winners.
Special
We're all
snowflake. I'm a winner.
Sorry, just makes me crazy.
Yep.
At
You
least
are
I
all
have the
special.
intelligence and humility to place the disclaimer that everything I say is bullshit. It's all bullshit. Just making it up as I go.
We go by the limited information that is provided to us.
Yeah, but at least we go through the fucking arduous process of trying to disseminate the fucking information that's given. Instead of getting one little tidbit and then going off on a fucking tangent about how the world exists. Shady, you get a trophy. You have your trophy, brother.
Fuck me, I'm tired.
Apparently, was that a good?
I thought you had
5-minute
already
nap?
gone to bed.
Christ.
Oh boy.
So, anything else we learned from that show?
Um,
What are we
Just
not
because
getting?
you don't like something doesn't mean that CIG gives a fuck. How about that?
No, they don't give a fuck. It's a scam. It's a Ponzi scheme.
Well, no, they were going. Somebody, I think Will brought up
Carrick.
the Carrick, the community feedback about the Carrick, and they totally dodged that shit.
I don't think totally.
They basically said we're not making a lot of those changes they recommended. Is the way I interpreted it.
Paul said there are certain things that we can do that will have high impact with little to no input or effort. And that's what we're going to do. But other than that, the ship is what the ship is because that's the way it had to be built in order to fit the shit in it.
Yep.
Fuck.
Internally, I don't give a damn. It's the external. We were spoiled rotten by Germert's
Yeah, but the thing is,
concept.
they said that in the show as well. It's like during the presentation, the LODs weren't functioning correctly, so it looked like it was just
Matt.
plain.
Yeah.
Mm.
It didn't have any textures or anything like that.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that's not the case. It's like it was just part of the presentation.
We'll
Hopefully.
see. Every other ship that they put out in game looks pretty amazing in game.
They're getting better and better, and I have faith in them.
So I don't think that the Carrack is going to be some bland piece of freaking,
No.
No.
Not for $500 or not. But
and everybody's bitching about the thrusters. Who cares? I'm not looking at the ass end of the ship.
I don't know.
I don't give a fuck. It gets me to point A.
I'm disappointed in that,
I'm good.
actually. Yeah. The thrusters just look tiny and weak compared to the rest of the ship. That's all I'm saying. I think they do need to be bigger or more of them, if you want to put it that way. But
I don't know. Some of the fastest aircraft on the planet have very small. What do they call the directional portion of an engine on a jet?
That's the. Oh,
I don't know what the technical term for it is called, but you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
I know
yeah,
exactly
yeah,
what you're
yeah.
talking about.
yeah.
You know, just because it's bigger doesn't make it better.
Yep.
Because you can actually get more thrust pushing, like if you, or you, big difference.
Vector thrusters. Vector thrusters is what you were talking about, but the I forget which is the new engine that they have where it really compresses the air, so it doesn't
And it creates more force.
Yeah, and it doesn't really need to be a big engine. It's just
The Ramjet, I think, is it?
the Ramjet. There you go.
Yeah.
Doesn't have to be that big.
I don't know. It just looks. They just look tiny for the size of the ship. That's all I'm saying.
Until you stand next to it, then it's probably
Yeah,
big.
right.
At full thrust and you're cooking.
Well, because it's 123 meters. The Carrack is supposed to be 123 meters. It's bigger than the 890 jump, isn't it?
No. Oh no.
Oh,
No. Oh no.
What is the 890?
That's in the 200s now. Isn't
No, is it?
It? Yeah. Oh yeah. That's nearly as long as an Idris.
Well, they definitely made that ship bigger.
Oh, I'm going to get you the stat now.
Because that was supposed to be like a little over 100 meters, wasn't it?
Oh yeah, but that grew like everything else, and then it grew and it grew.
That's
and
what
it
she
grew.
said.
Mm-hmm.
Like everything else.
I will not complain if the Endeavor grows.
No.
Not.
Nah, it's a science ship, so why can't it be massive?
Here's the problem. Go
Okay.
ahead. No,
No,
go
no.
ahead.
Go ahead.
I was just going to say, the problem is that there's always room for improvement. Everything can be made better. It's just how much time are you willing to invest in one certain aspect when there's so much shit to be done?
Mhm.
You know, they still got to go back and rework all their original ships because, like you said, none of them were built with the component system in mind.
Oh, typical. They haven't updated the website either. Good God.
So, how do you account for all of that time?
Yeah, they got to put all the panels in. They got to make them accessible, either internal
Some
or
of those
external.
ships might need to get bigger.
Yeah, but only slightly.
Yeah,
don't
but
think it'll
still,
be-
it's
yeah.
redoing geometry. That takes time.
Yeah.
So, delay? Can you say delay?
It'll
I
probably be. I think it's going to be one of the last ships to be made.
What, the
Shady
Endeavor?
says the 890 is
Yeah.
210 meters
Yeah.
now.
It's around that, yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, the thing about the Endeavor, right? So it's a science exploration ship, right? And it's completely modular, right? The front of the ship is actually a ship, and then you
And the
have
rest
the
is just a
corridor,
giant trailer.
which is a big giant trailer that you put stuff on, right?
So,
And then so the question that I have, and it keeps going through my mind, is like, okay, if the front of the ship is the habitable ship and all that other stuff, right? Is it going to have like a med bay in it, like most other ships,
probably.
right? But you can have a hospital ship on the back end. So are they going to say, well,
hospital
because you can,
module?
yeah? So if you have your hospital module, do you really need to have the medic
Yes,
bay?
because they detach.
So those
Well,
are the
the-
kind of questions I have, because
The
it
med bay
could
would be for
really
the crew.
be-
Now you
Okay.
pissed Relum off. He's throwing shit.
is it because Is it just another version of the Carrack?
How so?
So it's an exploration ship, so is the Carrack, right? But it has the ability to add all the extra modules. So if it's an exploration ship, it should have, the sensors. It should have, all the stuff that you need for travel, for long travel. So that's where I'm like, how, apart from the trailer in the back, how different is the main ship from the Carrack?
Not too much, I don't think.
I don't think they carry a spare ship. That's for sure.
Well, because you can get hangar bays.
You can get hangar bays as part of the trailer. But if you just wanted to fly the main ship, what can you do with it?
Not much. This is the thing I was quite disappointed. They even said at the time it wouldn't even have a jump drive.
What won't?
It's a big thing, and I expected to have a jump drive at least.
The crew section of the Endeavor? Or the entire ship?
The front section, as far as I know, doesn't have a jump drive.
You can't jump unless it's attached to the whole...
Attached to the rest of it, which I thought was a bit odd. I don't know. Maybe
they haven't fucking got there yet, so maybe they'll change it.
Yeah. But it should be a totally self-sufficient ship, like the Carrack. So,
it should.
Well, to Bright's question is, isn't science kind of exploration? Or exploration kind of science? Yeah. Probably not a full-on exploration ship. I will agree to that. It's not a full-blown exploration ship, but it's got to have some commonality.
Well, exploration can be scientific, but it's more adventure, really, than anything else. Maybe.
Don't argue with Brightwist. He's another one that makes all kinds of assumptions based on limited information.
Let him. He flies his fighters. Leave him alone.
He's the one that wants to gank you at the fucking portal.
Exactly. Yeah.
Fucker.
Yeah. Whip your ass silly if you misbehave.
Well, science, like all kinds of stuff. Yeah. Drugs, chemicals, farming, the fucking farming pods for it.
Yep.
What is the super collider going to do? We don't know. It looked great on paper. Now they have to build the gameplay around what was written down or disappoint a lot of fucking people.
A
lot of people are going to use it as a pocket carrier, right? A drug lab, right? You take 2 pods, right? Because I think you have to put the pods in pairs, right? So you can put 2 pods. You put the hangar, right? And you got yourself a traveling drug lab. And
I'm not sure.
One little ship that does the deliveries. You jump in, go deliver, get back, head the hell out of town, find a new location.
A lot of people I know were talking about using it as like a spawn location.
The hospital.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
So.
Possible, yeah.
Yep, telescope, radar dish, all kinds of crazy shit for that.
Yeah, the telescope will find interesting because that's where you find your jump points. And apparently, I think they were talking about that the possibility is that you're in a completely different system, and that you'll be able to discover a jump point in another system.
Is that right?
It's mostly for long distance observing. So say you're in Sol.
I'm not buying that one. I don't think that's
No.
We do it now.
No, it makes sense. It said, oh no, hang a second. We've discovered something in Crowshaw, which is the next system. So you go to Crowshaw and then you spend your time trying to find the bloody thing. But there's a jump point there.
Okay. That makes
That kind
sense.
of thing.
Okay. So you know that there's a
Something
disturbance.
there. Yeah.
There's a disturbance in a force. And one system. So you go over there finding the hole. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm good with that.
But then you need a Carrack.
To go through it.
Because the Endeavor will find it, the Carrack will map it.
If it can fit. If it's a small... And that's the thing that people are curious. The Pisces, right? Doesn't have a jump...
It does.
Jump engine.
It's capable of
you
having
can.
a jump drive.
It's attached.
Well, they haven't updated the...
No, apparently you don't get it with
You did not get it with it. That's what John said in the
Okay, I
Star
missed that
System
part.
Live. Yeah.
Okay, because you do need something to go through it if it's small. And I feel sorry for the guy if he can't make it back.
There should be gameplay like that, though.
Absolutely,
Really.
fucking absolutely.
You take the risk. You might not come back. You might die. You death of a spaceman. Fuck him. Kill him.
I remember a episode of Star Trek where they discovered a wormhole, and there was a battle between, say, the Ferengis and the Federation and other people to get the rights to operate a station near the wormhole. And they all went through, but the Federation discovered that the other end was unstable, and so it kept bouncing around the place. So it's fixed at one end, and at the other end, it goes anywhere.
That would be kind of cool.
So yeah, that
Except for the people that were on the other end trying to come back.
Exactly, and the Ferengi lost, of course.
Oops.
So hopefully there might be something like that, an unstable jump point.
Be nice if we had a probe that can be sent out.
Yeah, but I thought the Carrack was supposed to have like drones to.
It does, but I don't
into-
know if it'll make it through a jump point. You know what I mean? Because you have to use your quantum engine
Of course,
to actually go through the thing.
Well, they mentioned that the Herald, the Herald's supposed to have these data pods on the side of it, and they detach. And the idea was those data pods can actually go through the wormhole.
If the wormhole's mapped.
Yeah.
And you have the map.
Yeah.
Which opens up all that other gameplay that they were talking about information having value. So
yeah, no, I believe that the drones can go through it. But those drones are probably for other things like repairing as well, since again you have to be self-sufficient.
when you start thinking about all these different fucking levels of inception that are happening within the theoretical gameplay that is Star Citizen, I start feeling like Zeus. It's never going to happen. There's so much shit. The idea is so deep.
Yeah, now I understand that. Yeah,
it's crazy.
Yeah, no, it's lately I'm getting that stupid thought in my head: is this game ever going to be finished? Because there's so much bloody stuff to do.
The basics of it will definitely be finished, but
the basics, but there's so much gameplay that we haven't seen yet.
Yeah, but didn't he say? Oh, that was another interesting that he said in the thing. We're working on stuff now that you guys won't see for another year.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
Right, because of the way the schedules are and what they're working on and all that other stuff. So, who knows what they're working on that they are not able to show us yet because they're still trying to get the last of it figured out. I mean, the only real thing that we have to judge
the size of those engines are tiny. Sorry.
They're kind of small for the back of the ship. I agree.
Excuse me. The only thing we really have to gauge the game by are the ships, really. And just how big Stanton is.
And Stanton's not big.
You can't put the walls up until the foundation is done. You can't put the roof on until the walls are up. You can't put the drywall up until the roof is on. You can't put the electrical in before the drywall. You can't put the windows in. That's the process of building shit. It all has to follow some sort of logical order, or the other option is they keep reworking shit indefinitely,
which we don't want them to do.
Right.
Yeah.
I need to go there. I need to go there.
Yep.
I need to go. It looks so cool. Even if it's faked, I don't give a fuck. It looks cool.
Yeah. It's definitely fake because the wormhole's not that close. Well, the map is still, a work in progress. It's not a true representation.
What's funny, I didn't really realize is they actually go into the star map and show the map of the pirate system, which is weird. Because it shows it being there next to Pyro 5.
The station, it does. Or is it the wormhole?
No, the jump point.
Oh, it is close by? Maybe they did update it.
Okay, they could have, yeah.
It doesn't show like that on the website map though. It's odd.
It's been a little while since I've actually sat and fucked around and studied the
map,
the ARC map.
That would be so weird though. I mean, the jump point right next to the planet.
Hey, space is crazy, right?
Space be crazy. It does look fucked up around here. I mean, look at that.
And the pilot needs to raise their landing gear.
It probably didn't work.
Oh,
What's the other QA? Yeah.
So let's talk about these systems, right? That we're all looking at, right? So we know mining is come a long way, right? And every iteration of mining gets better and better.
Sure.
We know they have scanning, right? Even though it's probably very tier 0-ish still, right?
Mm-hmm.
We can scan. It's very limited in range. We can detect, depending on what ship you have, we can detect mining materials, and we can actually scan a ship and find out what's in it. Only 4 components or whatever. But in one of the videos long time ago, they said that they can get down to like a gnat's ass with the scanning and all the stuff that they kind of have already in there, but they're just not utilizing it, right? So when the gameplay gets to the point where they can actually use it, then they'll probably start embellishing on that, right? So that's 2 major game mechanics, right? They now have harvestables, right? Tier 0 implementation. They put it in there. You got some fruits sitting around somewhere. Go find it, grab it, put it, and go sell it, right? So that could lead to the whole drug, creating your own drugs, and all that other crap, or just growing food and selling it and stuff like that. So we have that. All right. So what mechanics are we waiting on?
Medical.
Salvage. Refueling.
Medical's on the roadmap. Salvage is
repair. Repair and salvage, I think, are the same. Just one
refueling.
One fixes things and one breaks things. Yeah.
So we're
combat.
You
combat.
wish.
So we're not combat, right? So each one, apart from the fueling, the salvage and repair, we haven't seen any of those, and we haven't seen medical. So we've seen 3, and we still haven't seen 3. And then there's obviously science and all that other stuff, but some of those piggyback off of the other ones, I think. So
sure. Well, we don't understand yet what their idea of some of these things are, like science gameplay. What is science gameplay? And we can theory craft about it like we have for the last how many years, but CIG hasn't even given enough information to make an informed decision. I mean, there has been talk about it, but nothing to...
But to answer your question is like, how deep can they go? How, is it ever going to get done? I think we're seeing it. It's just we're not seeing it as fast as we want.
Well, we usually don't get a write-up about that gameplay until
they have something to show.
Yeah, so like the Vulture is coming out in 3.9, so we're probably going to get a write-up about salvaging then. We might get one for the Cutlass Red, but I'm not expecting it because that's actually needed for Squadron 42 anyway. So we might not get it then, but hopefully we will.
Base building you won't see for 4 years, right? 4 years.
Yeah, that'll be a while. I mean, the Cutlass Red just has to be able to transport wounded people in the game, I guess. I don't know if we actually see anything with it.
So,
I thought salvage wasn't on the roadmap, and it was wrong. It's on 4.
Oh no, they put it back on.
Then where did I see healing?
That would be
Medical has to be soon.
Right underneath the salvage.
Oh, right.
NPC healing, that says 4.0.
hmm
Yeah.
4.0 is their theoretical release build.
No, this is Star Citizen roadmap.
Alpha 4.0. So no, I don't believe it.
Does that say Q3 of 2020?
Q2.
I think it's Q2.
Soon.
So 4.0 is where they're supposed to like lead into beta.
Nah.
Nah, no.
Nah.
I don't believe that. Don't believe
Q3 is supposed to be. Are we talking Squadron 42 or are we talking
No,
Star
talking
Citizen?
Star
Yeah,
Citizen.
there's no lead in. That'll probably go up to 5, maybe even 6. I wouldn't be surprised.
I don't think we'll hit beta for Star Citizen till 2021 earliest.
Yeah, that's
Earliest.
hyper conservative.
22, you mean?
It really depends because there's only so many like gameplay engineers that they have that can build the systems. They got a fuck ton of artists, but
Yeah, we poop out ships.
we were talking about that last week that there's a limited amount of people that can actually write the code.
Mm.
So
They usually go to better paid jobs.
And
Well-
you can only have so many people working on the code at the same time
sure.
without screwing each other over. So
Yeah.
Big dream, Chris. Big fucking dream. Which is why small-minded people like Derek Smart said it's not possible. But they also told Elon Musk that landing a rocket wasn't possible.
and
And
I
it
get
happened.
shivers every time I see those two freaking rockets land at the same time next to each other.
Right. That is a fucking marvel of human engineering right
There
there.
was one
That,
this
that
week
should
earlier,
not
yeah.
be possible in my mind, but I still wish that horses were on the road instead of cars. So
Yeah, I'm disappointed refuel isn't there yet. I kind of expected it sooner than now, but
Yeah, priorities, right?
maybe we need cloud tech. I don't know.
well, you need the ability to gather the fuel. So you need somewhere to gather the fuel from.
They got to have the cloud tech.
Gas giants need to be functional and all. What in the world?
This is hilarious video of all the times
ship
SpaceX
blew
did
up?
not land properly. So it landed. So here, it landed over water and it impacted on ocean.
Oh
Bam.
yeah.
Soft water landing. Didn't go.
Oh yeah, he had a few until he got it right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh sure,
Let's
and there
try
was the one that landed on the floatable platform and then fell over once it touched down.
Engine
and,
sensor fail. Bye bye.
Same with NASA. NASA had the same.
Of
course. Oh, yeah.
Hell of a lot. So.
How much money do they have to pay these fucking farmers for all the shit that they destroy when their shit hits the field?
Yeah, when they're really high, they do spread over a very wide area.
That landing platform. Poor
Yeah,
landing.
that's some violent shit. That one right there. Whoa!
Throttle valve.
Boom!
Yeah, that was a sad one. It landed and then it tipped over
But that was as close as they got before they actually did manage to land it.
the leg broke. It's
Watching,
disappointing.
but watching this in real time in your lifetime is fucking amazing.
Yeah,
Inferno.
Going
the future
from
is now.
Yeah, going from a concept all the way to a functional. What in the fuck?
And
That's
have
one of those
you seen the?
The wind is blowing it around on the fucking platform.
Yeah. Have you seen the new one, that stainless steel one, the Skyship or whatever it is?
That blew up.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that was pretty freaking impressive.
That's good shit.
It's heartbreaking when you see those things blow up.
This is what testing is.
Successful drone ship landing. Oh,
I
that's
hope they put
nuts.
the ones the two of them that landed together, because that was fucking. Look at it, just inches from center. That thing lands better than most players.
I
Right?
know. It's
Yeah.
crazy shit.
You mean there's no book you can pull off a shelf telling you how to do it?
If only
Nope.
automated landing was.
You learn by trying. And so this applies to Star Citizen. When
It
you're
really
pushing the-
does.
When you're pushing the boundaries, that it's all trial and error.
Mm-hmm.
The most cliche thing you will ever hear, it still applies today. You can't make an omelet without breaking some eggs. And that's just the fucking reality of everything. You can't do something new without mistakes.
Yep.
You know? Otherwise, everybody would be doing it. So,
But it's a scam.
yeah, well, everybody would be making these
Ponzi scheme.
crazy ass, grandiose fucking 100-star systems with fucking almost unlimited play space, with huge traversal times and fucking mechanics that mimic real life and all this shit. If it could have been done, it would have been done. But it could not have been done until someone took the initiative to actually take the risk.
But what people are starting to say now is that it's too ambitious and that we need to start dialing back and simplify it.
I think
what?
Make
I
it like
think
any
they-
other game.
No,
Didn't I
fuck
link
that.
something like that earlier this week?
Fuck people.
All
They
because
don't. What they need to
want it
do
now.
is. What they need to do is not introduce any new things, right? Feature creep, but they need to just give us what they promised.
It goes back to what we were talking about last week. I want it now. I don't care. Don't want your excuses. I want it now. Everybody wants it now. No one wants to wait. No one wants to work. No one wants to sacrifice. No one wants to suffer. No one wants to do any of the things that make life actually valuable. They just want it now.
Life's hard.
It is fucking hard. It's supposed to be hard. Dude,
Remember, the Matrix broke.
What did I
When they
link
gave us
earlier this
Paradise.
week? Though about that other game. I haven't even heard about it either. But basically, it was sort of a similar to Minecraft thing, a high tail.
The Minecraft killer. Yeah, I never even heard it myself. And I
Oh
like
But
yeah,
apparently
I
it
saw
had-
something about that.
It had a lot of the trailer had so many views that the devs kind of got scared.
Oh, that's right. You posted that. I
Yeah,
remember.
I did.
Oh,
And
that
so
Minecraft lookalike game.
It turned
Yeah.
out that they recently announced a delay for about a year or something. Because now suddenly they're under so much pressure because so many people suddenly were interested in it more than they thought.
And they have
they
the
wanna-
expectations, and now
Right.
they got to meet that expectation.
So they
because
they need to be really careful what they bring out, otherwise it'll be a shit show. Or that they carefully build something that is good on first day.
But that video also made a good point where they compared another game. I think it was called Cube World. I vaguely remember years ago.
Yeah, dude.
Where again, another Minecraft game, and everybody was anticipating it. But because development took so bloody long, people lost interest.
It's like 7 years now, though. It's not technically that long,
Mm.
but I mean, if you announce something and make an alpha playable at that point, if the during the whole stage of the alpha, the game doesn't stay engaging, you're gonna just lose people.
So that's I'll be honest with you, that's my biggest fear, Star Citizen.
Yeah.
Well, it hasn't happened yet, and it is definitely a possibility. But if your numbers
DayZ.
are correct, well, DayZ was a fucking shit show.
Well, they made it balls of that because they hemmed and hawed for so long. Will they make a standalone game? They should have done that since day one. But at least DayZ now are trying to do something again. Now they're coming up with a new map.
Yeah,
You
but
would like
wasn't
it-
DayZ
but-
a spin-off from the mod created by the modders and not
Yeah,
by...
but that's what was successful. The mod, it wasn't the original standalone.
Sure.
But it was full of problems. It can be hacked. People can,
Well,
get
that's
any
why
weapon
we
you
stopped
want.
fucking playing it because of
Well, that's
dupes
what-
and all that other bullshit.
But the mod was one of my favorite games of all time. I played thousands of hours of that fucking game, and I loved every moment of it. But when the hackers started coming in, that's when it was all ruined. But the Bohemian should have stepped in long before that and started their standalone game. Because they were making money from the Arma 2 sales, because you required that for the mod.
Mhm.
They just didn't bother. And so by the time when they start doing the standalone, everybody kind of lost interest because there were other games kind of similar that were coming out, had the same kind of genre. But I think that
It was
The
still
problem
the best,
with
though.
Daisy was that it was fucking brutal. It was just fucking brutal. And there were a bunch of cunts in that fucking game.
oh, I loved it. It was it was fresh, it was new, it was exciting.
And the standalone,
Oh no, not the standalone. No, sorry, the mod. The mod was,
the Arma 2 mod was really good, but the standalone was just full of a bunch of
Yeah,
ass
it was just
put weather in this
Yeah.
too.
Oh, this is the new game. You'd
It's a
like
new
this,
map.
Chantal. It requires hunting. You can't
Yeah, it's more
scalp.
of a. It's more of a. It's more of an environmental.
There's no
focused
food really
map.
lying about for you. You have to go and hunt it for it. So you might like this one.
What is this?
This is the new Daisy map. I can't remember what it's called. But you have to go hunt for your food.
Well, Daisy would have been better if you could have avoided the cities.
Now you can.
No,
Well, isn't the thing about Daisy is that you have to survive and everybody's trying to kill each other? Isn't
I
that
don't
why
really
people
know.
play it?
In practice, yes. You see a player, you better shoot him before he shoots back. But I think the devs originally, the game is meant so that when you do encounter players, you can either just, anything can happen. That's basically what they want, so that possibly they could be friendly, but otherwise maybe possibly also not. But usually in practice, it turns out nobody wants to take that risk, and so they shoot each
Yeah.
other all the time.
Because there's always that one guy that when
Yeah.
you try to be nice to, shoots you, kills you, and then you go, well, I'll never trust anybody again. And then
Yeah.
so it basically turns into just a PvP fest. You
It
never
kind
trust
of
anybody.
mimics humanity with
Yeah.
borders and rules.
I mean,
Because
technically,
that's
it's
what
not.
people are really like.
It hasn't
Well,
turned into
I
a
don't
really
know.
bad game, though. I mean, it just took so damn long for it to
Yeah.
do all of this. I mean, this sort of a map like this could have been released if it would have been released so much earlier. The game would have still been so much more alive, because this is
It's been
something
in
that's
early
needed so long
access for
now.
6 fucking years.
It's easy to build a map, but it's difficult to have
Well, no,
it where it's A, balanced, and B, do all kinds of other things other than just be a terrain.
Well, no,
Right? Terrain's
these-
easy.
no. These are real trains. These are based on actual real trains. That's what Bohemia do.
Somewhat,
Daisy is
yeah.
based, I think, somewhere in the Czech Republic. I think. It's an actual real train, so that's what makes it special. You can tell that it's not man-made.
Well, I've never been to the Czech Republic, so I wouldn't know.
It looks a bit like Russian.
Everything looks a little bit like Russia, except for the Netherlands that looks just like Germany.
What?
Not quite.
God, no.
Something always looks like something else because we all have the same trees. We have all the same dirt. We all have the same water.
I don't know. The United States has all different kinds of dirt.
Yeah, it's a
Yeah,
big
that's
place,
true.
so.
Red dirt, brown dirt, clay dirt, sand dirt. Burnt dirt.
Do you know, I'd love to talk about 3.8 now, but I can't.
Sure, you can. It's coming
Yeah, I
out.
can.
It's coming out soon.
It's coming out. I have to say, testing it's been interesting. It has been interesting.
Oh, there we
And
go.
that's about as much as you could say about that.
Isn't it? And that's sad.
That sucks. Sucks for all of us.
Oh, yeah.
It's between Lithuania
Oh,
and
that-
Poland.
Oh, there we go. What?
Someone
Is
overlaid it to Google Maps.
Oh, no, this the new map,
That's
is
the
it?
new map, yeah.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah, okay.
Trying to build
So
something like that to be accurate. I could see where it would
White
take
Russia here.
because you have to travel around and take pictures and
No, there is actually a software program that you can take a Google Earth image and have it translated into game data. I fucked with it a little bit with when CryEngine, when Star Citizen, we were all fucking around with CryEngine trying to get Star Citizen assets and shit. So there's actually a program that will do that for you.
oh, nice.
Yeah, it's crazy.
But the devs still went there and took photographs of the place. So the thing in the old map, if you actually go to that place in the Czech Republic, you'll see the same buildings, and it's actually tourists, Daisy tourists,
Tourism.
go
They
there.
have that, yeah.
And you see the buildings
that
and go, oh
iconic
my
red
god,
barn or
there's that
something?
building I recognize. Yeah.
There's that building. I keep getting my ass.
You know how many times I died at that building? That's hilarious.
But that's actually interesting about the map. I wonder what will happen with Earth in Star Citizen. To try.
Oh, it's going to be different. Obviously, they have to.
Well, isn't it supposed to be like post-apocalyptic Earth, where only a few major areas survived?
Oh, it's post-apocalyptic. I didn't realize that. Okay. So okay, yeah.
That's how you get around.
Yeah.
What Earth looks like in the future. Just say there was some major catastrophic event or a war.
Yeah, no, I
You
remember.
change things around a little bit. They all
Star Trek did it.
regroup.
Yeah.
Yep. Everybody converged into
Babylon 5 did it as well. Yeah.
economic centers, urban hubs, because it was too difficult to live.
Ireland better be on that map. I swear to God.
Well, we know there's going to be New York, Russia, or Moscow, Beijing, right?
Beijing, yeah.
And one other one.
Possibly Cologne.
Ireland will be there, but there won't be much. It'll just be trees, maybe.
Trees.
Trees and rocks, grass and rocks. I don't know.
Yeah, that's where I'll plant my land claim. Yeah, there we go. Yeah. Oh no, hang on a second. Oh, sorry.
I bet you Earth you're not going to be able to populate. There'll be some
land
restriction.
claim. Okay.
You can't land claim on Earth.
No.
What?
No Tokyo. It has to be a Tokyo.
I'm just guessing.
You're kidding me.
Who knows? Maybe.
Here's the red barn. That thing that everybody.
Yeah. Never had any decent spawns at all. I don't know why people went there.
It was big. It stands
Because it was
out.
big and
Well,
red.
these churches though, they do occur a lot in that whole area. Typical East European stuff there. A really nice area.
Can't recognize that building yet. Yeah. So I like the way they did that. Hopefully CIG might do something similar to have landmarks that you recognize.
They'll probably go
possible.
with the landmarks if they still technically survive.
But we did see concepts of like the Empire State Building surrounded by some kind of shield.
Glass and
Preserve it.
stuff like that.
Yeah. Do not touch.
Do not touch.
Well, if they're going to do that, then they have to make Dubai. And that
Oh,
would be like where all the rich people fucking go.
I don't know. Dubai might be buried under sand.
Well, Dubai's probably going to sink into the fucking ocean at some point, but
Talking about Tokyo might actually get hit by a tsunami and that's gone.
You know, when we change from oil to some other type of power, fusion, fission, whatever, quantum, their economy goes bust.
Not really. They have a lot of sun.
If we go solar.
Solar, yeah.
yeah, you could
Alright.
cover like all of the unpopulated space on the planet Earth with solar panels and not generate enough power to power everything.
I know what they could do with that. I know it only takes a small spot. They could build a giant farm and that could do everybody. There's there's enough, plenty of space. Morocco are apparently are planning a gargantuan solar farm, so then they can sell it off to Europe.
Are they doing the reflective solar farms where it takes the sun and beams it into a tower?
Yeah, and then
that
converts it to
water.
steam.
To steam.
I love that. Everything
It's a
goes
solar
back to bloody
furnace.
steam. Yeah.
Well, steam it works.
That's
It
how
works,
nuclear works.
But it's
That's
an
basically it.
old technology. That's something I find hilarious about it. Most of our power is run by steam.
Yeah, but all of the good shit died with Tesla. Nikolai Tesla, that is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but he wanted to give free electricity to everybody.
Which is why they killed him.
Mm-hmm. Well, no, he died as a pauper, really. I think that's broken heart. I think killed him.
Fucking
Capitalism at
capitalists.
its best.
Fucking capital.
Oh, so the other guy was a thug anyway. Anyway, back to Star Citizen. Is there anything else?
What's that?
Some kind of scam. Ponzi scam.
It's a Ponzi scheme. The worst scam ever.
Oh yeah. That's what it reminds. Yeah, the other ships. Yeah. So the other ships that they're not going to build, they haven't touched their brand new Marchman. I thought that was hilarious.
Oh yeah. I'm surprised the internet did not explode.
I just heard millions of voices of scream.
I was expecting the internet to explode with that one, but they said they're still trying to figure out the art for it, and that they don't plan on it growing any, and it'll lose cargo.
Yeah,
It'll
that's
lose
slightly
cargo.
disappointing, but
Well, it won't technically lose cargo. It will be adapted to be proper because the metrics that they used when they first announced all this shit weren't even metrics. They were just numbers that they arbitrarily assigned to bullshit, and then people freaked out.
I'm not sure. I think its role has changed. It was kind of a cargo ship with a little bit of a bazaar, but now it seems to be more of a flying bazaar than a cargo ship.
Mm-hmm. And
So-
we actually have some insight into that with what they're doing with the Kraken.
Kraken
Oh, the
privateer.
Kraken.
Privateer,
Yeah.
I don't know. I have a friend, Bassard, who was pretty impressed with the Banu Merchantman and just bought 3 more.
Holy fuck!
I don't know why, but he did.
I had one, and then I bought into all the hype, and I got a second one. And I'm thinking about it. And I'm like, I don't think I'm going to need that second one.
I never bought into that fucking ship. Never.
I
Everybody
like
was
the
like,
one I saw
"Oh,
it, yeah.
alien tech, and you're going to make all this money and blah blah blah." It just never.
I like
Never
the
struck me.
idea of the showroom or the flying mall. I kind of like that idea of it. But that wasn't the way I interpreted it at first. When I first interpreted it, it was like you're a cargo hauler and you have a nice showroom to showcase your cargo, not a flying mall or bazaar, right? So I don't know what direction they're taking it. Are they taking it in the direction of it's going to be a flying mall where you have the little shops, or is it a
Well, I thought the
showcase?
Banu used it as a trade ship.
Yeah, you take your stuff and then you showcase it. You can show it off versus having like a little store.
You're supposed to be able to bring one of the cargo containers up to a window. Remember that fancy room with the conference table kind of thing? So you're supposed to be able to bring the cargo up to the window, open the doors, and then show the prospect, a potential buyer, what the contents of it.
Yeah,
All the
So I'm not
human
sure.
slaves at the Banu trade.
yeah.
basically.
So hopefully they'll have that. But we did see a concept of they had also had a lot of shops.
I'll
think
be
it's a bit of
interested
a-
to see which direction they go with that.
I don't know where they're going to go with this. Is it cargo trade? Is it a flying supermarket? I don't know. we'll have to wait and see. But
Yeah,
anyway,
if they make it too much like the privateer, it's not going to make sense because you would think that an alien species is going to do things considerably different than humans would.
Well, the big difference between, let's just say that they're both flying storefronts, mini malls, right? The advantage that the Kraken has is that you have all those landing pads.
Oh, that's a great advantage. Yeah.
You have 3 or 4 landing pads on the surface of the ship.
Internal hangars as well, yeah.
Don't you lose an internal hangar?
With the shops, I think you lose.
No, you lose cargo
Habitation.
storage.
Cargo.
You lose
Okay,
cargo.
you lose cargo.
Yeah.
You don't lose the hangar. Okay, so you have a couple of internal hangars, right? So that's a huge advantage over the Banu Matcherman, which doesn't have any at all.
No.
It saves a
Right.
lot of space if you can land outside.
Yeah, but the Banu Merchantman kind of reminds me of the fucking Jawa Sandwalker. Whatever that thing was called. You know
The
what I'm talking
Sandcrawler?
about?
Yeah.
The Sandcrawler.
Yeah.
And you just travel from place to place and you stop at an outpost or a small village or something and people
Oh, that's
come
right. We lose the dragonfly hangar.
people kind of rummage through your shit and see if they want anything. And
Yeah.
That's
That's
a
what
perfect
the-
analogy.
Merchantman
Yeah.
reminds me of in concept.
Yeah, that's a perfect
Maybe-
analogy.
Maybe not as a junk ship or junk vehicle as that is, but yeah.
Well, sure. Because it depends if you're a scavenger, I guess, maybe. But if you're a privateer, for lack of a better term, then you would have whatever you're
remember-
going to sell.
But the Merchantman was also supposed to be a tough cookie. It was a blockade buster as well. And it had those 2 big cannons in the front, so it's a ship that you don't mess with.
And it still could be.
Hopefully.
Well, they were
Oh,
talking about who makes the stinking. Is it the Prowler? That's the drop ship.
The probably
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
the
That's
turbine. The turbine. Blah.
Tavarin.
What do they call it?
Tavarin.
Tavarin, yeah.
That John was saying that the way that they're implementing the shields on that make it impenetrable.
Oh, the gameplay sounds so fucking amazing.
What's
So-
it called?
So they, the Defender technically has that shield technology. And the guy that's managing it should be able to direct the shield to a location and then basically make it impenetrable.
No ballistics, no energy
Yep.
whatsoever can
So
penetrate this shield.
it's a directional shield, right? So if you have it surrounding you completely without any kind of interaction, it's a regular shield. But if you force it into a directional shield, then it's impenetrable. So that's a perfect example of why you want a multi-crew ship with a person dedicated to shields.
Well, that's what the Defender is supposed to do as well. Since they took that technology.
But yeah, they took that technology.
Yeah. Oh man, I can't wait for the Prowler. Oh, I'm looking forward to that so much.
What does that mean, Bright? It's total game dead, brain dead gameplay because you can't blow it up. It's not a good thing.
No.
Jesus Christ.
No, Bright. That it's vulnerable in the rear. So
Yeah,
you
depending
have
on
to.
how you-
Yeah.
I mean, if you're going up against multiple ships, it's not necessarily something you're going to want to do because while you're blocking the shots from one ship, another ship is shooting you in a location that's totally exposed, right? So, but if it's a one-on-one scenario and you have a guy that's managing the shields, then yeah, the guy with the shields, as long as he's doing the job, they're never going to get hurt.
Funny part is that although right now in the game, so often when something is shooting you from the front, the rear shields get hit.
Yeah, well, the game still needs a little bit of
It's
balance.
so yeah.
Yeah.
Just a little bit.
Hence
Only
why
a little
Bright
bit,
said
yeah.
combat needs to be refined or actually built.
So yeah, no merchantman. What else are we not getting? No pro. No, not pro. No Polaris.
It is
Merge
not
that.
an active development, is what they
No.
said. They didn't say.
Yeah.
There's a big difference between not getting it and not.
Hey, we're
being
not
an
getting it.
active
I wanna
development.
know.
Someone pointed out. It's just take a look at how Paul looks at John when he says it's not an active development. It's like he's looking at him like,
Oh, he's
okay,
constantly going back and forth. Getting his
like,
approval.
yeah, it's like it's not an active development because it's done. It's in Squadron 42, and we're not giving it to you.
Well, I don't know. Paul said that at least 20 times during that fucking live stream. They're all done. You just can't have them. It's fucking funny.
Yep.
Funny to me, anyway. The Polaris is not likely to be in Squadron 42.
Yeah, I don't
I
episode
don't
one.
think so. No, I think in the lore it's a brand new ship.
The majority of the freaking Squadron 42 episode 1 revolves around the Idris and the Gladius.
Yeah, but you need a lot of shifts for the background. So the whole sea is required.
The Javelin.
So we know they need the reclaimer because they showed us the one scene where.
Well, that's why we have it in engine. Is because they had to fucking.
We now
get it
know that
done.
they have the whole seas, right? Because they need it probably because it's going to be transferring cargo from Shubin, right? We know that the crawlers are in the game.
The reclaimer.
We don't have them. We can't buy them.
It's just a reclaimer.
Reclaimer. Let's see what else. The Javelin, the Idris. We know the F8. F8's in there.
What did they say about the stinking Redeemer? They talked about that.
Oh, yeah.
For a few minutes there.
So they did start working on it a little bit.
Thought that was interesting. They explored it.
Yeah, they're gonna kind of keep it close to original, but it's gonna be a dedicated gunship, and they have to make changes, obviously, to accommodate the new tech.
So they compared it to a C-130, the Hercules, in real life.
Where
I
it
don't
just
know,
meant to
C-130 is
blow
a
the shit
big-ass
out of stuff on the
airplane.
ground.
Yeah, well, when you stick a big gun at the side door, I think that's what they're referring to. I actually got an upgrade because I am excited about that ship.
That's what they said in the Inside Star Citizen thing Friday, Bright, was that the Hull C is in Squadron 42 without the physics and docking working because they can fake it.
Yeah.
And you're not going to have access to it.
It's supposed to be the most common ship in the universe, so you're gonna have to have it.
The pirates will be fucking attacking Hull Cs that you have to defend or something of that nature. That'll be
But you won't be boarding it,
right.
I don't think.
So they can make set pieces all day long, but for it to be physically functional in the persistent universe is a completely different animal.
Yep.
That's why they have to do the javelin, because you will be walking through that ship.
Think so?
Oh yeah, I told you this is where we're
started
going to be starting. You
Or at least
start
we
at
think.
the javelin. Yeah, that's my theory anyway. You start. in
They
the javelin.
showed us a fuck ton of like footage of the Javelin like 3 years ago.
Mhm.
And the Bengal.
But they're huge ships. They're huge.
That's crazy.
Massive. They're massive assets.
You know, you
Crazy,
have
yeah.
the amount of stuff that they probably have to build just to make that shit. It's just crazy. I mean, you see how long it takes them to do some of the smaller mid-sized ships. I mean, multiply that times.
Yeah, but there
1,000.
was a special and very specific ship team working on those. It isn't the same ship team that we're used to seeing.
And they're still not done with them.
Oh, because they're bigger than most games.
I'm curious where the Bengal is in all of that. Where is that in the squadron? as well?
yeah, that's on the roadmap. Yeah.
So let's see. So the Idris hasn't moved. It's still at 49 of 64. And the same thing with the Javelin. It's at 60 of 70. So those guys really haven't moved that much.
They could be waiting on certain techs.
Yeah.
The usual problem. They're waiting on one specific tech, and then once that tech is there, then it gets faster again.
Let's see. Where's Mr. Bengal? There's Mr. Bengal. Mr. Bengal's at 29 of 47.
For now.
For now.
Could be something about object container streaming.
You know, they're entirely possible.
Yeah.
You know, because that's a lot of fucking asset.
That's a big fucking ship.
You know, remember when they had the Idris in the show floor, even gutted, was a strain.
Mm-hmm.
So,
you know, and I would not be a bit surprised if they're waiting on that. And when 3.8 comes out with it, hopefully, Tier 1, they'll be able to actually work on a bunch of the other stuff and put it out there. And it might actually speed up a bunch of the stuff that they've been waiting on, because they've been waiting on it. Because they needed for Squadron 42 for server side. They said that. So now that they can actually roll it out, it could open up a huge floodgate.
hopefully.
I fucking hope so.
Chris Roberts wants everything physicalized. He wants everything physicalized. So that's gonna take a lot of time. That's one thing we learned from the live show. Chris Roberts wants everything physicalized, so clicking on doors may be taken out and replaced with more buttons. A lot more buttons.
Well, they had that panel, right? So if the panels have those buttons and they scroll, hopefully that's what he means by the physicalized buttons, not actual physical buttons.
I think he's talking about buttons like flick the switch kind of thing.
That was the idea.
That was for the ships, right?
Way back, but I don't foresee that happening.
They said they wanted to do that for the ships, where some of the ships you actually flick in the buttons and stuff.
There's not many buttons for the Bengal.
There's too many people that are fucking into this that aren't flight sim enthusiasts.
No.
If it gets too crazy,
yeah, we'll lose.
It'll be a turnoff. It'll be a turnoff for me, to be honest with you. If it's like, oh, you gotta go through your fucking pre-flight check, and have you ever watched anybody play the real hardcore flight sims? That shit's like 15 minutes on the fucking tarmac, getting your ship ready, warming it up, and doing all your pre-flight and shit.
I don't think he'll go there, because he's always said, right, take it to realism and then bring it back to fun. So you'll have the one button that says flight ready, and you'll hit that, and it gets your flight ready. That kind of scenario, probably.
Well, you would think that in the year 2950, that almost actually, if you follow the realism path, the people that were saying you wouldn't even have space combat because you wouldn't see what blew you up.
Right.
You would get taken out from fucking hundreds of thousands of kilometers away, and you wouldn't even see it coming. So, you definitely wouldn't have World War II style dogfighting in space.
Nope.
I
mean, we do it now. People, we shoot our missiles at a range they don't see, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, where did that come from? Boom.
Right. Yep. I don't reckon that we'll have a holiday live stream this year. And I don't reckon that we'll see a Squadron 42.
I'm still gonna have a very loose hope that something Squadron might pop up. We got a hint of this a while ago, a long time ago, and everybody's kind of forgotten about it. That something Squadron might pop up.
It'll be a quick stream now, right? A couple hours, maybe, if at all.
Maybe. I don't know.
Maybe they'll just drop a video. Hey guys,
here
you go.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
That one year turned me off to everything CIG holiday live stream.
Oh,
Period.
That was hilarious. That was
It's like the
brilliant.
Star Wars holiday.
It was
Or a Christmas
so
special.
bad.
Yeah,
They don't even need to go
Yeah.
there again.
Anybody who wants to be a producer or get involved in production, look at it. It's a great lesson on how not to do it.
Maybe the special will be the 12th.
Yeah, that date. Yeah, that's the one with the Aries that
that-
we've seen.
That might be the holiday special.
Oh, I hope the Titan suit. That'd be hilarious. Oh,
That would be nice. Oh my God.
Nice. Yes.
What they need to do is have a holiday sale that sells ships at lower prices than they sold at the IAE, and that will just fucking flame a bunch of motherfuckers.
Yeah.
No melting allowed during the holiday sale.
That'd be
That would be
hilarious.
fucking awesome.
A cash only sale at that.
Cash on it, yeah. Screw your credits. Nobody wants credits.
Yep.
Yeah.
Where's Zeus? Why
I
isn't
would
Zeus
go
in here today?
crazy. I would go
His
crazy.
head would explode right about now.
Yeah, a fair amount of credit now, mine count.
Does anybody have the IAE shirt and hat?
I told you to get it. I warned you to get it, but you didn't get it. You forgot about it. Silly.
Why
didn't get it.
Why didn't you
I-
just put it in the same pack? That's what bothers me. Like,
Yeah, no, yeah,
That was dumb.
that's a bit crappy. Like, it's what, $25 was it?
$25 for all the shirts and hats, except
Yeah, but you
for
don't-
the actual
Except for-
event one.
Yeah.
But those
yeah.
were just manufacturers' shirts.
yeah, all the ship ones.
Yeah, but it's to do with the event, so they
Yeah.
should have thrown that in. I think that's poor. I think that's bad now.
Well, here's the question: are the shirts still available?
No,
the IAE's gone, and
No.
But are the other shirts still available?
on the pledge store they're gone too. You know,
no, they're
They're
gone.
gone too. Okay,
They're all gone.
but I'm supposed
that's a lost opportunity.
Suppose
That one
the
should stay
Star
up there
Hanger.
all the time.
Not really.
It's in the
Yeah,
green
you want
market
to you want to make them special. They might pop up again. But anyway,
Fuck that! It's $25 that they make.
don't worry.
That's money that they make.
we're getting more. We're getting more shirts. We're going to
For
come out
us-
with the big Benny shirts.
For as much as people want to label CIG as money grabbing whores, they certainly pass
still buying it.
on a lot of opportunity to make money.
Yep.
They really do. They pass because if it was really about making money,
Just
they
like the
they
shirts.
could make a lot more fucking money.
Oh, they could. Yeah.
Well, the thing is, right? So let's get into the skins argument, right? So they will rather sell a ship
That's a
with a
Google
new
cache.
skin on it as a unique ship
Mm,
than sell the skins.
yeah.
Because everybody would buy the skins. Not
Can you buy it,
everybody
Relum?
buys the ships.
No, this is a Google cache. It doesn't exist anymore. The live page is let's see, it's a 404.
So it really is somewhat of a cash grab where they are willing to sell the ship with a new skin and call it a totally different ship,
Yeah, I don't like that.
then sell the skin.
Yeah, I don't like that.
Where everybody would, even if everybody bought the skin, they wouldn't make as much money as if the people that buy the ships, the collectors and stuff, buy the ships.
It's true.
So it is somewhat of a cash grab in that sense, kind of. You know,
Have to keep an eye on the Star Hanger or whatever it's called.
but the thing that comes down to it is like they know what they sell. They see the numbers, and this is something that I wanted to bring up, right? So I've been harping about how the 100 eyes haven't been done. It's like they've done almost the entire Origin line. They have all the everything that they need, right? And it seems like a pretty simple ship to make. And why not invest the time and effort to do it, right? Get the old ships that have been out there for a while, make them. And I started thinking about it, and I go, you know what? If I was one of the big things that they've always said is like the Aurora is the most popular ship,
It's
or
the most
largest
owned.
purchased owned ship, not the most popular, the most owned ship. Why? Because it was the ship that started it all. It's in all the packages, the majority of the packages until the Mustang came out.
Because
right?
a lot of people-
a lot of people have those, right?
Yeah, because a lot of people
So
didn't really,
it makes sense when
Well, they didn't
Yeah,
think
it makes
about
sense when you-
they needed any ship because they could have gotten the rest later. So they're like, okay, I'll get the cheapest, and then I'll wait until the game's finished. So a lot of people have Auroras, but you never see them
Yeah.
in game because no one's flying them.
it's true,
'cause
right?
They suck.
So the 100i, I'm like, hey,
it's
they
not
have
that bad.
they have this the layout, they have all that stuff that they need. It should be relatively easy to knock out. And then I started thinking about it, going, you know what? How many people actually bought the 100i? Why put the effort into getting that ship built when there's only maybe 1,000 of those that have been purchased? When I need to be working on other ships that there's more owners. We never took that into consideration. Why waste resources on a ship that only a handful of people have purchased versus a ship that a lot of people have purchased?
It's so M50 that
is,
it
yeah.
shouldn't be a problem to knock it out. Actually,
this
I bet you
concept's not,
Elwin Bachelor could build that ship in a couple weeks.
But for 1,000 people,
Why the
That's more
fuck?
than thousands.
is it worth
It
it?
has to be done
know.
eventually anyway.
Well, wait, 1,000 is
it's-
probably a very low ball.
Yeah,
but what I'm
it's
saying,
it's a cheap ship, same price. So a lot of people would have bought it anyway for it. It made a good token LTI as well.
but how many people have probably already upgraded that to something else? Because it
I
was
mean,
a
A
Yeah.
lot of people bought
Yeah.
it
So-
to
Yeah.
use it as a token.
exactly. So,
yeah.
do you really want to spend the time and effort the
Well,
resources to build
if they
that?
have the
put it
if they have
into
the
something.
assets for the 300, I don't see why not. They have their origin now sorted, I think. So
The M50 is on the roadmap for rework, though the 100
that's
series is not.
been pushed back so many times now.
Yes,
so
yes,
it's
yeah.
ridiculous.
I agree, Dirk. I think that if the 100i was made flyable and made as a available starter package, that it would sell considerably more than, especially the Aurora, just because of the aesthetic. It looks like a nice spaceship instead of a flying fucking brick.
Maybe it's a thing of pride. Robert Space Industries. I want people to own my ship. Fuck Origin.
Could be.
Mm.
I doubt it, but you know what I mean. It's funny.
You know, they did say that the 600 series needs a lot of attention,
Ugh,
which
that
is
was such a disappointment.
it's a fucking amazing.
Yeah. What a badly laid out ship in every way, shape, or form.
But they did learn from it and made the 890 jump a much better ship because of it, I think.
Yeah, now they need to take it all apart and
Yeah, go back and
redo
redo
it.
Hopefully not anytime
You
soon.
know what else they need to redo? The fucking Constellation, because that ship's a piece of shit.
No, leave it alone.
The iconic Millennium Falcon, my ass.
I like that.
Fuck that ship.
Yeah, now leave it alone. That's fine. Perfect as it is.
I kind of agree with Juntao.
I don't like
It's not
these anymore.
It's
iconic.
It's
not,
not
yeah.
iconic. I hate these haters.
I don't hate it. I just don't think it's
It doesn't live up
I don't
to the
know.
hype that Chris laid out
No,
for the ship. It really
it's a
doesn't.
buggy piece of mess. That's the problem.
It's
but
a
I like
flying
it.
space booger.
Nah, that thing on.
I like it. The only thing I want to upgrade is the Phoenix because the crew section is just ridiculous. For a luxury
but it's
ship.
for the crew. The crew doesn't.
Yeah, but I mean, the state of it
No,
is just the same
but-
as the other
so-
ones.
but-
Servants don't get the same treatment, you peasant.
Yeah, but you don't bring the guests through the servant area, do you? So you
They go
have to
use the
spruce it up.
toilet.
They go
Yeah.
into this section, yeah.
Yeah,
like
They
everybody
kind of
else.
dropped the
And they
ball
walk
on that
right
one.
past
Yeah.
the bunk beds of the crew, right? Yeah.
You got to go through the bunk beds and everything to go
Into
use
the
the
rear
toilet.
section,
It's
yeah.
like
This is where
even the bedrooms don't even have a fucking toilet.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, it's not a good ship.
Yeah.
I don't know. I have fun with it. I do like it.
I'm sure you have fun with it, but it's just not a good ship. It's
It's
not.
not. Yeah, it's not a well-designed ship.
Well, this section it looks really nice though. Though
That section does look
the
really
whole
nice.
bar is still
Yeah.
one of those
For what it's supposed
gameplay
to do,
functions that were like,
that
it's
area
cool, but
is
why?
pristine.
But yeah, the rest.
The only thing missing is the toilet.
Yeah,
Unless
there's
they
no
use the
toilet.
freaking hot tub as
Yeah.
the placeholder for it.
Yeah,
You need a
I
piss?
don't.
Yeah, jump in the hot tub.
I hate the hot tub. It's what a waste of space. I want to take that out.
Yes, I agree, Bright. It's because they tried to make the interiors fit into an already failed exterior design. And that's not to take shit away from Chris or the stoner dude that
Josh Counts.
yeah, that redid the ship. They did a great job working with what they had, but just the whole idea of the way it was built is just it's not right.
No, they're
It's
not going to touch.
fucking right.
They're not going to change the shape. It's. I love the shape. The shape is brilliant because it's long and slender, so it's actually a lot smaller than people think, even though it's still a large ship.
But they missed a couple of the key points, right? You got to have a toilet for the freaking guests.
Yeah. You need the toilet there. Yeah.
Right? Do they really need the hot tub? No, but why
but
not? Just put it in there.
This ship is exceptional. Well, let's talk about the other Connies. So the Andromeda, the Aquila.
They're fine. They're ugly in some aspects, but they do what they need to do.
If it were the utilitarian solution for cargo transport or exploration, the Aquila, okay, you got a nice big space for your rover, you got a fucking table to eat at, you got some area to sleep in. The same thing, even with the constellation Andromeda. It's not an iconic ship. It is a fucking transport ship. You load it full of boxes and you fucking fly.
Mm-hmm.
It is literally a fucking extra large freelancer in an RSI platform. There's nothing special about it. There's nothing that makes it iconic, which is my fucking problem. The Phoenix rework is nice because of that one luxury and interior section. But other than that, the rest of it is just whatever. It's a fucking spaceship. But there's that. Does that look like iconic Millennium Falcon style shit? Multi-crew gameplay and blah, 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 which is all shit that they said when they only had like 4 ships in concept. But, you know, doesn't fucking do anything for me. Sorry. All you Connie lovers out there need to suck a nut.
You know, I think apart from fixing the Phoenix with giving the toilets to, you know, the nice, a single one shower toilet they can put in there for the Phoenix, I think what they really need to do is just leave that line alone as it is. And then once they get the game kind of out, work towards the next iteration of the Connie. Right? They talked about the different year kind of thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Let's move on.
They need to take a plasma cutter and cut that motherfucker into little pieces and throw it all in a reclaimer and start the fuck over.
He's not going to do that.
I know he's not going to do that because of pride.
Well, it goes back to resources and
dude,
all that other
let's
stuff.
talk about the bottom turret of the fucking constellation. It's literally useless unless it inverts the player. And they said they can't invert the fucking player without completely redoing the ship. So you're just going to deal with it. We're just going to deal with it.
That's what I'm saying.
It's
Leave the
already
ship
done.
It's just leave it as is and let's work towards the next version.
Fuck. Just take it out of the game.
No. Go away.
Does
you.
rear
I don't
engines
like it.
actually do that?
Shoot.
What you see here?
They're supposed to
Yeah.
join when you go into
See,
into
Yeah,
quantum,
they do.
but they don't.
Through a jump.
No, this is
No,
quantum.
when you're supposed to go into quantum, they're supposed to join. Yeah.
Okay. Zip.
Well, fuck,
Yeah.
it looks better when they're closer together than it does when they're spread out. Anyways, enough about this fucking pile of trash.
I like the Connie. It's
I say leave it as is. Tie up all
This
the
is
loose
fucking old
ends,
though. This
and then work towards the
It is. That's very old.
29.
2014 or whatever.
20 is it 29 or 24? 24 2450 model
29.
no.
or
They
59
won't-
model. I don't care.
2950.
Whatever.
If they are going back, it won't be for a few years.
Yeah.
It's adequate now. Just get rid of the silly bugs that exist, and
Yep.
we'll see.
It's all shit that was designed based on an art style that didn't
Holy
have
crap, they're going fast.
gameplay as its function.
Mhm.
Function over form. Function. In a
If-
fucking combat space
Look.
sim, you need function.
If you want your Millennium Falcon, fly your Mercury. There you go. That's it.
Fuck you. They redid the fucking freelancer so you could actually access the goddamn rear turret that you couldn't get into when there was fucking cargo in it. Remember that?
Yeah, and it's still in the fucking way.
And it's still in the way.
Though they did fix it now. At least you can get rover now in Max. But I don't like the design. There's no need for it. It could be a remote turret. Doesn't need to be a manned. There's
The
4 seats
older
up front.
Yeah,
The
it's 4
older
seats.
ships are a
remote turret.
fucking shit show. The older ships are literally a fucking shit show.
Isn't that something that they said
They
that you
are,
could do
and I-
though?
We used to love
I
these
see.
things.
Yeah. But that's
Yeah,
because they've
you
gotten
don't know
better.
any better.
All
You
that
didn't
they've
know
gotten
any
better.
We're
better.
spoiled.
They should have made the newer ships worse than the older ships and just kept everything
That's
all
it.
fucked. Throw metrics away. Let people walk into fucking beams. You got a duck to go through the doors.
That's it. We're
Blah,
just
blah,
spoiled.
blah.
We're spoiled. We're all
We
spoiled.
We're all spoiled.
Yeah.
These are
No, but,
total first verse problems.
Wasn't
I
it
say
something that they
just
say
leave them
could do?
all as is. Leave them as is and just work on the next version in a few years.
When you're talking about turrets,
them as
wasn't that something
collectibles.
they said you could do eventually? That even the manned turrets could be fitted with
AI blades. Yeah.
AI blades.
Yeah.
So you could make it remote.
Yeah.
Or is that
So you take the lower turret and you make it an automatic turret.
You would have to because you can't fucking
freelancer?
see anything in that piece of shit. Literally can't see beneath
Oh, it's
the
in
ship.
the stupid thing is
In
in the
the
back here, looking down
lower
a
turret.
big ass shaft. Or you could talk about a Connie, whatever. Yeah, but the freelancer too. Yeah.
Farting through the letterbox. That's what it looks like.
Let's hope that will still be a case, though. I mean, the Pisces Q&A revealed another thing with the what was it? The fact that someone spotted that it had convertible cargo space, but that was apparently placeholder text for back when they designed the ship with those folding flight chairs that initially were occupying the cargo space, but now they've redesigned it so that those chairs are in the neck part, just behind the cockpit, and so it doesn't intrude on the cargo space. But that text was still there, so that was a mistake. And with it, they also said oh, there's not going to be currently not any plans for.
I want to put a
adding
sofa
additional-
there.
Yeah, but that's the thing that I think would be a really strong expansion into really making it very modular and to letting players do whatever they want with the ships.
This is
If
where the
it's
cop
possible
comes in.
that you
We
can
talked
place-
about this.
Whatever you want in a ship, and what better to do that is to use cargo space that you already have to place furniture, beds, and all that stuff in, so you can make it usable. But they said no plans, but maybe it's something that they really they may still feel like could be a very good improvement. But
Chris
don't know.
needs to stop trying to control us. Just let us do what we want.
Yeah, and indefinitely delay the game.
well, that's really just what saddened me even from the beginning when I pledged the original Avenger. back when there was only one Avenger. When they revealed the other variants, everyone that had the original Avenger got the Stalker variant with just all the six with just the six prisoner pods in it and no cargo space left, which kind of saddens me too, because I'm like, I would have liked to have at least some cargo space left. Perhaps you would like to take out 3 of the pods and leave 3 prisoner pods, and then the other side would have cargo space. That sort of stuff it just makes it modular, makes it you can tune the ship to whatever you want.
Yeah, but let's tie that back into what Innovis was saying earlier. Modularity undoes
Retaliators made in that,
which sell more shit. So in that aspect, Zeus and Oxia would be proud to know that I think he's right on that.
Oh, where is he when you need him?
Because that's exactly, it should be the Avenger Titan with the only one Avenger that should not be modular is the
Warlock.
The Warlock, yeah. I guess.
But the rest of them, you should be able to pull out shit and put that shit in whatever configuration you choose.
Because
you want
the way
one
it's designed,
fucking
you can easily
cryopod.
see it's designed like that too. When you see it, it looks identical except from the parts that are missing the cargo pods. So why?
I think we've seen it in the vertical slice when they had the advocacy
Avenger, yeah.
Avenger. They only had, I think, 2 pods, and then there was a bit of cargo on the back.
You should be able to do like Ralim is saying, though. You should be able to choose.
Oh, yeah.
Do you want 1? Do you want 2? Do you want 3? What do you want in the ship? It's not that fucking complicated, and I guarantee it's not that complicated.
No.
It's take the fucking base ship and make it an empty shell, and that's what you get, and then make your little modules fit within that shell. It's not hard. It's really not hard.
I think what happened was originally that's the concept. It's all modular. They had problems figuring it out. So in the interim, they came up with the variants as the solution.
Oh,
and
yeah,
then
look at that.
Once they saw how much... oh, look at that. There's only 2 modules
There's
in there.
only 2 in there. Yeah, that's what... I didn't notice that.
So what the fuck?
So what they did was, it's like, hey, we make a variant, we sell it, and we make a ton of money. And then so that became the standard. It's like, let's make a variant, let's not do the modularity. And so we make more money.
And the
blame 'em?
conspiracy
No.
thickens. No, they wouldn't make as much money, but they would sell more shit because people would be more apt to buy it if they had the understanding that you can manipulate it.
I don't even know how they're going to figure out how to do the Retaliator, for that matter.
Oh, yeah.
They're supposed to stick those things into the middle of the ship.
Well,
no, they'll give you your refund and make them all fucking variants, and you'll have the Retaliator cargo version.
No, I'm certain they're going to have a good go at that one. Actually, I think they're going to have a good go at that.
Yeah,
they're
really.
I think they're going to go. Yeah, it's a badly designed ship. There's duplications. You have twin corridors at the back. There's no need for that.
Oh, yeah.
It's a very cool looking silhouette, though.
From the outside, yeah.
The exterior look of the Retaliator is pretty fucking mean.
Big ass engines in the rear.
You know, but
I like the concept. It's supposed to be like a submarine feel off it, and I do like it. But it's just poorly positioned. I think the original design, where I had the torpedo pods on the outside hull of the ship, not in the center, I think would be better.
Yeah, but somebody thought it was a good idea because you could sit there and watch through the glass.
Yeah.
Because that's what you're going to be doing when you're in combat, is you're going to be focused on the animation of the fucking torpedo getting loaded and circling around and shooting and getting another one and circling it around and loading. No, you're not. You're going to be trying not to fucking die.
There's only going to be one person even in that area, because everybody else is in the turrets or in the cockpit.
Oh, that's another thing I can't stand. There's too many turrets.
No.
It
There's not.
requires 8 people to fully crew that.
Hey,
What's
you're
kind of like a
bomber.
hammerhead, but with the
You're a bomber.
torpedoes.
Have you seen the old bombers?
Yeah, I
From
remember.
old
Yeah,
movies?
I know. Yeah,
There are a lot of turrets.
There
and some
are.
of those turrets were set up where it was suicide. If
You were sitting on the outside.
you were sitting
Yeah.
on the outside. There was no if the landing gear went out, you were squished. You were nothing more than a smear, right? So, bombers are very susceptible to fighters. So you
It's
need
no.
turrets.
It's just expensive. I think it's expensive crew wise. Those 2 turrets in the wings can be remote, or maybe even controlled remotely, say from another turret.
Yeah,
Like
but
5 of them,
everything
right?
it was all designed with this whole
World
we
War
need to
II.
get as many people in these ships as possible because we want the whole multi-crew gameplay thing, and we're pushing the multi-crew gameplay, blah blah blah. You know, but some of it just doesn't make sense because they focused on only certain aspects of it instead of the big picture. So I like the ship, but
It's all based off of concepts
The
when
living
actually
module.
came to the point of building it and the gameplay and all that stuff. Then
the
all the
Retaliator
problems started
dropship
showing up.
module.
Yeah, the dropship module was. I got that. That was
And it's
like-
actually it's useless now.
Is it?
It's actually
I don't think so, because that holds
You don't need
12 people. 12 people and a cargo
Quite a
section in the
large
back.
bit, yeah.
you
So,
have
If
you
you have a
the
mission,
Valkyrie.
you no.
You have the Valkyrie now.
You don't need the
It
Valkyrie.
holds
This is
20 people.
This is a
holds
long
cargo.
range ship.
It
This is a
holds
long range ship.
vehicles.
It's long range. It can go quite a
Valkyrie
distance.
can go just as far.
So no, Valkyrie's not that. It's not that. No, it's not.
Valkyrie makes that useless.
Valkyrie is
Absolutely
not.
useless.
Valkyrie is a medium short range ship. It doesn't go that far. This is designed to go the distance. So if you have a battalion, or not battalion, whatever, a crew of 12,
squad, yeah.
a squad in, and you have cargo at the back that has various different weapons that you can store. It's ideal, I think, for that. That's one of the reasons why I got it anyway.
It's useless.
It's not useless. You're useless.
It's a bomber.
Wasn't this thing
It's a
supposed to
torpedo
be
boat.
ejected when you could drop your?
Is it a drop pod?
No,
what-
the whole thing
was
drops
it?
down.
Yeah. What was it? Is it really a drop pod that can fly down on its own?
No.
Parachute down, maybe.
We have
No.
way too many drop ships.
No, the whole thing's on an
Like Craig
elevator.
says, we got way too many drop ships. You don't need that.
It's a long range ship, so
Well, it's a
you use the
goddamn
long range
shame.
capability.
That they worked on the Valkyrie to get the fucking Valkyrie flight ready for CitizenCon or whatever the fuck the reveal was for that, instead of working on this shit.
The Valkyrie's only supposed to hang around planets. That's its idea. This is
defensive
designed to go further.
It's a
it's-
it's the
it's-
cycle of progression, though. The same with the way that car manufacturers make their previous model years obsolete by introducing new shit, because it's always much more advanced, much more refined. And the same thing we've seen with Star Citizen, which is where all this bullshit conversation is coming from anyway, is the newer ships are better than the older ships in almost every aspect, based on the lessons that they learned by fucking everything up along the way. Now they got to go all the way back to the beginning and apply all the fucking brain work that has gone into the new ships and apply them to the old ships. Kind of sucks, but
That's why I'm saying it's like just do enough work on the old ships to make them playable and meet what the concept was originally about.
yeah, but
Right?
motherfuckers spent
And
money on this shit.
Yeah, but if they meet the original
How many
promise,
Retaliator owners fucking melted that shit?
I did.
Did you? Shaming you.
Fuck yeah, fuck that shit.
Oh, come on.
I'm like-
Shaming all of you. Yeah.
just get
You're
the
not
ship-
real backers. You're all fake.
I got
get
the idea
ships
from
back-
it,
get
and
the
it's like,
ships to where they originally promised them to be. Just get them working, get them the play, the gameplay that they were originally concepted as, and then be done with it. and then continue to either introduce new ships or introduce a new year
Version,
model.
Yeah. Well,
The problem is the Retaliator is in Squadron 42. So
Yeah, but it's in there as a torpedo boat. That's all it. That's
Yeah,
all it
yeah.
needs to be.
So I don't
That's
know.
all
Are
it
they
is
gonna,
in
With
Squadron
those
42.
modules, yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Are we gonna see a rework? If
I'm like, don't do it. Just get it to where it works. Don't do a whole rework. That's what the next year model is for.
Yeah, and then they'll unfortunately need to retroactively remove the shit model from all existing backers and replace it with the good model.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Or
Remember,
give them
people-
free CCUs.
No, leave that in there. And don't.
Hey, guess what?
introduce
Innovis
it-
is saying
don't-
if you spent real life
Your
money
money's
on
lost.
these ships, fuck
No.
you.
It's like no. It's not
Take
what
it
I'm
in the
saying.
pooper.
It's not what I'm saying.
Filthy
Right?
backer.
What I'm saying is that it's just like new car models, right? You have they deliver what they promised, they're done, right? If they're going to introduce a new Retaliator, it's going to be Retaliator 2955 or what, new, updated, new style, new features, new whatever. The old one, you can keep it, you can sell it, you can put it in a museum, right? People have said we want new models because they want to be able to hold on to those, right? And so this is how they do it. Take these old ships, the Constellation, leave it as is, get it working, get it to where it's playable, get it to where it meets whatever they originally promised, and then be done with it. And then 2500, they release a new Constellation model.
With the
Totally different
Retaliator,
design.
$675.
talking about delivering what was promised.
Well,
with
the thing is,
Retaliator.
by that time, hopefully you can buy it in game. And
You're
you don't
never
have
going to
pay
be able to
real
buy
model.
these ships in game.
just before you
It's
go,
a
Random,
lie.
this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to take my dropship module, stick it in the front. I'm going to get a pair of torps in the back cargo section, and I'm going to fuck the ass of any Valkyrie owner out there and finish off their mission. How about that? There you go. Bloody Valkyrie owners. Look at you. All your fancy cargo space.
Can't defend yourself though in that thing. Not much though. Some
In the
way.
Val?
I have my
The old
size 9
ships are going to be
torps.
collectibles, or they're just going to be sold off to buy new ships. That's what they need to be. They need to do that. They need to have that cycle of new versions. Not now. Later, once the game comes out.
Now.
Right now, they just need to finish the ships, have them playable, and be done with it.
Yeah, well, the
Either introduce a
Retaliator
whole
isn't even
new-
fucking playable.
It
We
is.
We fucked around. Oh,
Sucks.
yeah, you can fly it.
You can fly it. You can fire torpedoes.
Can you now?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Do they come out every time?
Yeah.
They fix that?
Yeah. The torpedoes aren't worth a fuck. They need to balance those. But yeah, I mean, it's there. It's doable.
I
it's
think the
playable.
Eclipse outweighs the fucking Tally by far.
They both have size 9. So yeah, the Eclipse is technically a superior ship. It has 3 torpedoes versus the 4 that the Tally has.
6. Not 6.
Tally has 6?
Yeah, but they want to increase that more. They know that's too small.
Well, they should, because it's obviously a bigger ship. It should.
Yeah,
be able
because
to-
everybody melted to Tally to get an Eclipse.
Eclipse, yeah.
Yeah. I have Eclipse as well.
So they do definitely have to do something to make it a viable ship.
I'm so glad that TO's white chair could join us for the majority of this
Was that nice?
stream. It's very
I
nice of the chair.
I missed the old red chair.
The stained old
The
red
stain.
chair. God, that was.
It had personality.
Hopefully, he fucking took it out back and lit it on fire.
Do you know what he could do with a pair of Google eyes in that chair?
Yeah, you missed the opportunity. That's what you need to do, Ralph. You need to have a pair of googly eyes. So when the chair is visiting,
Yeah. Yeah, all the ships do need a look over eventually anyway. So, I'll admit
But
that.
I don't want them to waste too much effort on them. And look,
Yeah.
I have a lot of ships. I will say I have at least one of every ship.
Well, they're going to have to be gone over because, like, the Retaliator is that set up in a way that accepts modules? Because I don't think that it is.
No.
No, I mean
So
they
it
have,
has to be rethought.
it has to be redone to some degree to meet the original pitch, right? That's what I'm saying is make those old ships, get them to what the original pitch was, and don't put any more effort into it other than that. Because they got bigger fish to fry. They got other things that they really need to focus on.
Yeah, but
Get the
that's all
ship-
tech related shit. They could sell concepts and people will still buy concepts just based on the concepts. They don't have to be
Exactly.
fucking flight ready and shit. They'll make money. You done?
Anyway,
What
Rella,
did he say? We got
He's
100.
sighing.
I
He's done.
I was thinking, like, I
How
didn't
many
do
ships do we have?
I didn't do a
150 something?
giveaway on Discord this week. And it's because it's like the same people keep winning because no one enters them. And I'm like, why? Don't you all
So why
want free
do-
shit?
Stop
But they're
doing
all
that.
bloody whales and subscribers and nothing.
No, we talked about this bullshit. It's because people are in the Discord, but they have almost every channel in the Discord muted.
Yeah, I told you, put everybody in the thing, and then everybody
not
has
that
no
such a
choice but to pay
dirty,
attention. It's not dirty. You're allowed to do it now and again. Don't
Do
be
the
afraid.
giveaway during the show. That
They
way
don't
it's
really
late.
care
Show
what they
up.
get. They don't care what
No,
we have to
free
say. They just come here
Yeah.
because they're bored on a Sunday.
I still got a couple of
Yeah.
pair of glasses. I got a lot of glasses still.
I mean, I've seen other talk shows and they have more people than we do. But then again, they have followers because they stream.
Stupid streamers.
I stream all day.
Your shirt
Well,
reminds me of something. Oh, go on.
I saw that Joran
My shirt?
No.
put up a tweet yesterday, I think, that he likes doing the podcast thing because he does the 890 Jump Club and all that other bullshit, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so he's thinking about becoming a part-time streamer because he needs extra money.
Does he really?
And this is the fucking problem that I
Does he?
have.
No, he doesn't.
with which that's what he said. That's his tweet. I could
Does he
use the extra
need-
money.
Yeah, well, a bit of pocket money is no harm. No.
That's the fucking problem I have with streamers, man. Is this whole platform has just turned into
Money.
manipulate the viewer for money. Not everybody is an entertainer. I'm not a fucking entertainer. I'm an
Well.
asshole with a microphone. That's it. I'm not here to entertain you, make you fucking feel good about your life or any of that shit. You made stupid too fucking bad.
Well,
It annoys you. I'm
jump
sorry,
is
it
gonna
annoys
cost
me.
money.
Everybody
It's a-
jumps on the fucking I'm gonna be a streamer bandwagon. No,
And
you're
as soon
not.
as they get like 200 and something followers, or that, then they quit their jobs. The only person that hasn't quit their job, as far as I know so far, that really enjoys what he's doing and has a fairly decent following, is Captain Richard.
Oh, he was funny. Oh, see that the
He keeps the
Oh.
reality.
yeah, he was
keeps himself
hilarious there
grounded.
with the Hammerhead duel. Did you see that?
His sense of humor doesn't appeal to me, so I don't watch him that much.
Oh, it was absolutely hilarious because it took him a while to see. He has his duel with two Hammerheads in Area 18. So you have the high city around the place, and so it's easy to bump off the buildings and everything. So it's an interesting duel that you have a fully manned crew Hammerhead against another one, and they were getting everything ready. Took about half an hour to get everything ready and lined up. And as you said, go, the game crashed live on stream. Brilliant timing. And his reaction was absolutely hilarious, I have to say. That was
Yeah.
just classic Star Citizen.
I mean,
What a-
he's a trooper. He really is.
Yeah, I like him. He's one of my favorites, definitely.
like I said, his sense of humor doesn't appeal to me, so I don't watch him that much, but I still follow him. And I'll go in and I'll watch his stream from time to time. I like his format up front. He updates everybody on what's going on. He'll play the game. It's always entertaining to see him try and wrangle cats to do any of the stuff that he wants to do. But yeah, no. And he's grounded. He's like, I'm not quitting my job to be a full-time streamer. Unless I know that I can do it. I think he's more interested in working for CIG than he is for being a full-time streamer.
Well, a lot of people are like that, but
it's no different than being a full-time YouTuber. It's temporal. It's very in the moment. At any moment, all of that shit, what didn't they just like destroy a couple fucking streamers' incomes?
Yeah.
What was I fucking on Twitter or something? I don't know the names of these people.
To do a lot of people. If you don't follow their narrative, they just simply cut.
And on YouTube, they're totally
killing everybody on YouTube. And there's people that have been making pretty good money on YouTube for years that have no fucking skill. Zero employability. Literally, dude. You could be a video editor for another YouTuber that hasn't gotten banned or demonetized or something of that nature, or Twitch kicked off of Twitch. What are you going to do?
People are going to Instagram.
That's where the money's at.
How do you make money off of Instagram?
Followers equal ad revenue for some reason. Views on Instagram equals ad revenue. Jay's 2 cents makes most of his money now on Instagram.
I can't see that lasting too
long.
It's
weird.
I don't get it.
To be an independent content creator,
it's
more
Facebook.
Power to you, but it's fucking crazy.
Facebook own that, so.
Oh, Facebook just took. How's Rex doing on Facebook? I don't even go on Facebook to look at videos.
I got rid of that years ago.
Deleted my account.
I still have it, and I was on there just kind of like a news feed. What did I miss something? Because someone will always rage about something, right? So it kind of like a semi news feed. But I do not follow streamers. I don't even know how to follow streamers on Facebook. So I'm curious how Rex is impacted. They must have paid him a lot of money to go over to Facebook.
Apparently, there is a friend of mine that I work with was big into Fortnite. God forbid. He's like 40 some years old. Huge fucking Fortnite player. And he was talking about some cat that was just making bank streaming Fortnite on Facebook.
Ninja. Oh, no, not on Facebook. Ninja went to Mixer. From Twitch. Right.
Yep. But I don't fucking get it. I don't get it.
I don't know.
But you're also talking to a guy who never turns his television on. Ever.
No, I got rid of my TV as well.
I have no cable. I have a Blu-ray player. We watch Blu-rays and shit. No streaming services. None of that shit. Don't care to be entertained. Don't need a fucking person just like me trying to entertain me by playing a video game. I would rather play the game.
It's gotta go bust sometime.
It's weird.
It's gotta pop.
It's really weird that we're that desperate as human beings to be entertained. Because life sucks that bad. Because you know what? If you spent less time being entertained and more time being productive, you would make more money and therefore potentially have a better life.
Escapism. It's all about escapism.
It's weird.
Yep, it is.
It's weird.
It's always been like that.
I don't know. I don't live like that. You know that. We get
some
in, we talk
people go
shit.
out to the picture. Some people go to the theater. Some people,
Yep.
I guess everybody's got their own thing. I just don't understand it.
Some people play sports. All to escape.
At least sports are good for you physically.
Mm-hmm.
Well, even following it, supporting it, or
those are the worst. I don't like. I'm from Detroit, and the Detroit Lions fans crack me up because that team sucks.
Oh, that's that American Hand-Egg game, isn't it?
I don't understand the paying or subscribing for Twitch. I don't get that.
I'll do it now and again to support somebody, but I won't do it constant.
Maybe like, as a tip.
Yeah, that kind of thing. Yeah,
stuff like that. I get that. Hey, you entertained me. I laughed. Here's a tip. I get that. Subscribing? I don't get that.
Yeah, maybe I'm just living in a different world. I have a mortgage, 3 kids, wife, car payments, all that stuff. There's no fucking way I could ever trust any of my life stability to this. Which is why I've said this before. This is paid at the base radio because literally makes no money. And it's not about money. It was never about money. It still hasn't become about money.
What is that about?
Bunch of people bitching.
Well, it used to be about passion for the project. And now I'm not sure anymore because this stream this podcast seems to still be about passion for the project.
Mm-hmm.
All the trash radio that the programmers play in between Sunday and Sunday. I have no fucking idea. But
I'm gonna tell Miss Hertz that.
the DJs do a good job, but like the auto DJ, appeal to me personally, and it probably appeals to some people because that's why there's so many different genres of music. Is because there's people like
we actually. We reduced. It's only 3. We have to reduce it. There used to be more.
More what? So, genres?
Genres. Oh yeah. We had jazz and everything. But all we had was electronic, rock, and soundtracks.
So why did you guys reduce it? Because costs, or just because nobody listens?
We have to have a general appeal. Yeah. It's much easier to keep to a certain genre than to.
And do you have specific time frames to do those?
Mm-hmm.
We do. We divide it into 3 parts to cater for Europe, America, and Oceania, if you want to call it that. And so it's kind of repeats it there. So electronic, rock, soundtrack, and we do that 3 times.
Okay.
And try and mix it up. So it's difficult. Like I know some people saying, I prefer rock, and I prefer electronic, but you have to cater for everybody, really.
Mm-hmm.
Well, radio stations don't do that.
No. Well, it depends, really. Some of them are far more general.
Yeah, I have
they specialize.
Variety radios. Yeah, I have no variety radio stations.
For sure.
General radio stations are very common, yeah.
Really?
But you have paid DJs to do it, so they can mix it up.
Oh, it's actually here it's like if you're radio rock, you're fucking rock. If you're jazz, you're jazz. And you're targeting a very specific audience.
No, but they didn't want to do that initially.
In the US, let's say that in the US, that's the way it is.
Well, that's the satellite thing you have, isn't it? Sirius.
What they
no, just general radio.
I think that the general thinking about that is, I think that if they do try and veer off course a little bit, they'll be fearful that they'll lose a lot of listeners. But some stations here have tried that, and it went the other way around, because people actually there's actually quite a big base of people that actually just like the variety in it, and so there's one station, at least in this country, that's all variety, and they've risen to the top of the charts right now because they play all sorts of stuff between the days, like, and people apparently like them.
In the US, usually a station will play rock or something. There's a big stink over one song that's pop. It's kind of like hip hop, but it's also country. And country people didn't want to play because it had hip hop in it, and hip hop people didn't want to play because it was country. And there was a big stink over it. Finally, both stations ended up playing the song. But it was because there was it didn't fit properly into their model.
Nothing fits properly. That's the thing, though. It's
Be careful of the dot. Put a space after the dot. Bot will kill you if you do. If you have a link like that, yeah.
All right, so we're done.
So the only thing worthwhile on this station is our show. Remember that.
soundtrack
No,
playlist is good.
We still have the passion.
I like to. I like it. I still listen to it. I still.
No, Miss Hearts does
Well, I
it.
made it.
It's better when it's not an auto DJ, and we had some discussions.
Yeah,
going
but
on
that's
about.
that's interaction though. That's a two-way thing, you see.
Yeah.
Yes, and that's huge.
Mm.
You know, so
Which brings it back anyway to the streamers argument. That's why
I guess
people like it. It's a
instead of
two-way
watching
thing.
television, you can chat. You like they chat with us, and yeah, I guess.
And
to a
and
certain
they
extent.
mention your name and all.
Does it make you feel not so alone in this dark and evil world?
Then overdo it. Oh my god, he
have
said my
people
name. Oh my god.
Notice you on the internet.
Yeah, well,
Dude,
loneliness is a problem.
People have stalked streamers, gone to their homes and stuff because they felt like they've made some kind of connection because they were called out.
Oh, that's a thought that I had earlier when we were talking about something else. You know, when life was harder, I mean, bad shit still happened, but it didn't seem like there was so much emphasis on depression and all this other stuff that seems to be like a fucking epidemic. And I think that we've all gotten so goddamn soft because everything's so easy that it fucks with people.
Are you familiar with Simon Sinek?
No.
Okay, so he does talks and stuff like that. And he did this one video, and I can't find it except on Facebook, which really annoys the fuck out of me. But he talks about the millennials and why they're the way they are. And it kind of touches on what you're saying. We've become soft. And it talks about why people are depressed and anxiety and all those other kind of things. So if I could ever find it, I'll link it or I'll put it in our private channel. But it really does come down to the internet. For the greatest thing that it ever could have been, has actually turned us all into something less than what we were, as far as I'm concerned.
A little bit.
I'm not going to blame the internet. I'm actually going to blame mobile phones. Because we had the internet for a while, but when the internet got so easily available in the palm of your hand.
Yeah, but that's
I
the
think
thing. The mobile phones have made the internet more accessible.
Mm.
And the ability to just put everything out there, say everything, do everything, have everything, really has the internet in its original concept was a great thing where we could share knowledge, share information.
Yeah, like an online library resource.
Yeah, the ultimate library.
And then it turned into a
library for
just a ridiculous
porn.
A porn library for certain weird ass political views, or a library for.
I need to find that one video. It really it helps me understand the millennials. Doesn't help me deal with them very well.
Oh, okay, boomer.
But it makes me understand it. I am a boomer. I'm a boomer. I'm proud of that. I'm actually. I would rather be called a boomer than a millennial, because I know that I have the life skills.
There he is. Where were you earlier on, Zeus?
Zeus.
I saw a really great quote, as a matter of fact, about that this dude said, if you are the type of person to revert back to the phrase "okay, boomer," you've obviously never paid a mortgage in your life.
Oh, I hate that phrase. I hate it with a passion.
And that's
You've lost the argument. You've lost the argument immediately the minute you start using phrases like that.
You know, but I think Bright, you know, is partially right. You know, people aren't making enough money, so they feel, because it sucks to not have enough money. But that's not the only reason people are depressed, you know. And the only thing that I would say is, all these old sayings that frickin' my grandparents' parents were talking about. Idle hands. Idle hands.
Yeah, I actually agree with that. We were quite busy in the old days, but then again, we had shorter lives. At
You
least-
didn't have time to worry about nonsense. And now you're bombarded with nonsense from the mobile phone, from the fucking internet, from YouTube, from friends, from politics, all this stuff that there's no effect on your life. But it does.
Oh, it does.
And
greatly.
another thing I think you said, people like the interaction. And I watched a psychology video on this. The more connected we think we are, the more disconnected we are, because we're all sitting on our phones or on our computers or at our TV craving human interaction at this level, like we're interacting with the chat, but it's not real.
No, there's a difference between face-to-face communication and one over a screen.
Hugely.
And we've lost that. That's the problem.
We're losing that.
I think we've lost it.
I say we are, but the difference is I think when you have that face to face, even on a screen with vocal and visual, you still meet some of that social interaction. We do, but when the text, the people with the text only, that's where it's lost.
But what's weird about that is you've seen all the bullshit they talk about kids in the back seat texting each other while they're in the back seat because they're talking about shit that they don't want to talk about in front of other people. No, because they don't know how to talk.
Yep.
I don't know. Anyway,
Oh my god, Redored. That's Redored.
We were over games like 20 minutes ago. We stopped talking about Star Citizen, and Roland's been trying to pull the plug on this motherfucker for like 30 minutes.
No.
What else?
Keep going on.
No, I think
because we care. We care.
I think
talk about these.
This is a very serious thing. This is a very serious thing. We're seeing the breakdown of established human, how should I put it, interaction
behaviors.
Yeah,
inherent natural behaviors that don't exist anymore. You know who's the worst? Is this guy in his VR bullshit.
I'm the VR guy.
You are below me on the stream.
Oh, there,
yeah.
The other one.
But
no, actually, VR can bridge that gap a little bit. It really can, right?
Only if you get that Japanese thing that you put on yourself.
No, not that one.
Oh my god,
that one. But no, the right now, I don't think that the social interaction is where it needs to be. I'm going to use VR chat as an example. VR chat, for the most part, is a bunch of guys running around as freaking anime women, and are just toxic in all kinds of ways and forms. But there are small, isolated pockets of people that really benefit from it. Like Jay Lee, for instance, he goes to VR chat, and he's in a small group of people that do karaoke, and they all just hang out and sing, right? They each take turns and stuff like that. It's a very sociable, interactive experience, right? A lot of people are working towards finding ways of being able to use VR as a social media so people can interact with other people across the other opposite sides of the world, right? Once you actually start bringing in the avatars and stuff like that, where you can actually kind of get a little bit of the body language and stuff like that, it could be a good thing. I'm not saying it's going to be a good thing.
VoIP?
Just like anything else. VoIP, I mean, really, if you take Star Citizen and you turn it into a full VR experience with the way we have the VoIP, the facial recognition and all that other stuff, it could create
the Matrix,
a new social matrix. Yeah, sure. It could create a totally different social experience.
But that's still not the face to face. You learn a completely different set of skills.
The only good thing about all of this shit is I think the birth rate overall for the planet is down, is it not?
Oh God, no. We wish
I don't think so.
It's not?
it's not.
It's only in highly educated, wealthy environments.
Yeah,
Yeah.
basically.
Oh, that's-
Impoverished people.
And
still
in impoverished
have kids.
areas,
only
they
a
don't
very
have
small
anything to but have
portion of the
sex, so they
entire-
have a whole bunch of kids.
Well, you know, there's a
Population
song
still
from back
grows.
in the day that one of the key lines in that song is convinced that only stupid people are breeding. So they may be right. Maybe it was a prophecy.
Well, you got nothing to do.
That's true.
You have sex.
Yeah.
If you have
You
it,
play
if you have
PlayStation and
accessibility.
make babies.
What's that movie? Idiocracy, is it? Remember
Yeah.
that movie?
Yeah.
I think that's coming true. I genuinely think that's going to come true.
It's savage. Well,
Wow.
hopefully Star Citizen gets their shit together and reworks all their garbage ships so that we have better ships to fucking fly, and that I'll stop focusing on what's happening in the outside world, and I will become a
Okay.
social hermit as well and just play like I did World of Warcraft. And
Well, when they get that new gameplay,
Well,
that new map or whatever the hell it is,
when
hopefully
is the
that
12th?
will.
The 12th is this Thursday. So hopefully the 12th we might have something new to talk about.
December 12th?
Crusader.
Yeah,
Crusader,
December 12th is supposed to be the Ares drop.
Yeah, well, they were talking about it in chat. They weren't sure what the fuck the Ares is supposed to be because it's super secret, which ties into what we were talking about how they hid the mole for so long without any leaks. Which
They did give a hint. They said it's kind of very heavy in armor.
Yeah, so is it a Titan suit?
Well, I think it may be. The name is suitable for it. Ares, the Greek god of war. So
it would be
maybe.
nice. And if it's done, what would be even nicer is if it was actually available in a new game that comes out.
I don't think we're that far. Yeah, I don't expect to be done.
Yeah, well, I think the Titan suit is one of the quintessential pieces for Squadron, isn't it?
Yeah.
Is it?
It's on the road.
I
It's on the
think
roadmap.
so.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it is
on
on the roadmap. That's right.
Mm.
It would be nice.
And you'll have that like Matrix end moment where you're trying to shoot all the aliens with the guns on the Titan suit with a bunch of
Yeah, that
guys
would be
trying to
fucking
stop them.
Oh,
Shooting
It'd
up
be pretty
all-
epic, and everybody dies except for you, the player.
That would be cool.
It'd be pretty crazy. We'll see. Are you ready to go to bed, John?
No, but
No, you're ready to go play some
Yeah,
3.8 PPU though.
He's ready to go take pictures.
I don't take pictures.
I was listening to them the other day.
Screenshots.
They were testing the other day. I heard them.
well, actually, we might take pictures of the 890 since we now have it as a subscriber. That's a nice.
Why don't you
ship
take
to have.
pictures of the 600 before it fucking changes drastically?
I hate that fucking ship. No.
I tried that.
Take some pictures of the Connie too, right before I fucking blow it up.
Okay. Let's get the hell out of here. We'll throw this episode up on YouTube so Zeus can watch it, and then we'll be back with another episode next week. And
You
throughout
better
the
be
week-
watching it, Zeus.
You-
We've been asking questions.
yeah.
We gave you credit, Zeus. We agreed with you.
Yeah, you missed it. You totally missed it.
I think he's
probably
already gone
again,
anyway.
isn't he? Yeah.
Well, he'll
Like,
figure
how
it
much
out.
is it?
Typical, yeah.
We'll see you around on Discord or whatever, and we'll see you again next week. How can I find an audio version of this to download? Nowhere.
Audio? No, we don't.
We
do
could
audio.
put it on iTunes, but it costs money to do that, and we don't have any
Fucking
money.
Apple, yeah.
No, you can get it off YouTube and just download the audio part. There must be
Yeah,
some add-on you can get.
Probably, yeah. Okay.
We could
yeah,
put it
we
on SoundCloud, but we don't have pay for.
No, that only
What do you
supports
call
like 2 hours of material per account, wasn't it?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, not
that's
if you
bad.
get like some super ultra premium
Yeah, but
thing that you
Yeah.
pay for.
Yeah, that costs money.
costs money.
I got shit to buy.
Oh.
No, there's an add-on you can get. I have it for Firefox. You can separate the video and the audio, so you can download the audio from,
Yeah,
from YouTube.
there are converters that you can get.
Yeah,
Chrome,
there are sites
too.
out there.
Chrome.
There's
Who
sites
uses
that'll
Chrome.
rip that shit out of
Weirdos.
YouTube.
I got to let the Google overlords know exactly what I'm doing so they can inform the Chinese my actions.
Well, whatever. No. I don't know how to fix that. I don't. People requested the episodes on YouTube. They watch them there too. Audio versions.
We'll talk about it. We'll see.
We'll
see if there's
yeah.
a better solution.
But
Then
now
you can
we
listen
go.
to me talk like an idiot on your fucking iPhone. Won't that be exciting?
Be just like the old days when we didn't have video.
We can go back to it.
All right. See you, everybody. See you next week. See you around Discord or the place. Bye.
Yeah,
Goodbye.
unmute the base Discord, you bitches. What the
Oh, yeah.
fuck?
Yeah. No, go at everybody. Just wake everybody up.
I'll just poke the whole damn
That's exactly saying
member base.
It's a giveaway, you know.
Star Citizen's
Alright, see you,
premier
Ben.
radio station.
I'm no meteorologist, but I'm pretty sure it's raining bitches.
Only on the base.
Exactly saying
Member base.
It's a giveaway, you know.
Star Citizen's
Alright, see you,
premier
Ben.
radio station.
I'm no meteorologist, but I'm pretty sure it's raining bitches.
Only on the base.